Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Set 'em Up Lanes in Griffith. He's Nathan Laird. I'm Chris Ramirez. We are live here at the 2022 Preseason Pigskin Party in Griffith. Second annual. We're glad to be back here, Nathan, in a fun, festive atmosphere and a great way to kick off the football season.
Boy, it's fantastic to see the camaraderie of all the teams and coaches behind us. You know, you got Griffith sitting next to Highland, who's sitting next to Munster. In a week, those guys are enemies on the gridiron, especially Griffith and Highland. They play week one, and they're out here, breaking bread, eating together, having a good time. And where else can you have that except for the RSN Preseason Pigskin Party?
How about it? And this year, you know what? We got a little bit of water falling from the sky, but no tornado warnings this year. So come on out. We're going to be here for the next few hours. We've got several coaches. We're going to interview as many coaches as we possibly can that show up tonight, and I think we're in the 17 range or something like that are expected.
The numbers fluctuating a little bit because of practice schedules are changing because of the lightning and everything. Right. So we got a bunch of coaches here, a bunch of players here who are enjoying some delicious food here at Set 'em Up Lanes, and we're going to talk to the coaches live here on the air tonight. We're talking to the players as well, but we want those players to be the focal point. So, those interviews are going to run later in the week. You think football, you think later in the week. So that's when you hear from the players later on in the week. And, talk to them about some fun stuff leading up to the season, not just the X's and O's on the gridiron. Talk to the players about the fun stuff, because they already know about all the X's and O's. We want to hear about them as young men.
What I really want to know from the kids, especially the offensive linemen, when you're lined up in there and it's a tight ball game, what kind of trash talking's going on between them? You know what I mean? I'd like to hear that. What are they saying, Some kid's been beating your brains in all night long. What kind of talk is going back and forth?
Yeah, but if he's, beating your brains in all night, but then you get that one pancake block on him to spring the touchdown, that's the ultimate bragging rights right there. You don't have to talk trash after that. You just hold up the number one. Like, I got you that one time. We scored on that one. So
that's all that matters. So if you want to find out that kind of stuff and more, we are interviewing all the teams here at a separate table, and we'll replay those. We're looking to get that Wednesday and Thursday to you. So come back here to Region Sports Facebook and regionsports.com, and we'll have that for you. Probably going to be in a two-parter. Is that what we're looking at, Nathan? We're thinking 5 hours or so between everybody, a couple of 2-hour to 3-hour videos.
We got so many teams here tonight. We don't want to just put it in one long video. We're going to break that up a little bit. Get you guys set for those scrimmages on Friday night, because, Chris, it's hard to believe scrimmage Friday. Week one kicks off next week.
Yeah, last week we already had several of those inter-squad type games, Valpo with the green and white, Hobart with the purple and gold game. Exactly, games like that. So football's here, and this year, it's funny, practice opened August 1, so the stars are all aligned. Not August the 3rd or, whatever. Monday, August the 1st is when the calendar said, and, that's very traditional. August 1st was always the day, that, boom, that was it. Sometimes that would fall after a weekend or whatever, but this year it's August 1st, so it's easy to figure out from there. What's our opening night? That'll be August 19th.
Yep.
Friday, August 19th, with scrimmages this Friday, August 12th. So football is here. We've got 3 games a week planned on the Region Sports Network this year, minimum. We may add some as we go along, and we're looking to do some more distribution with schools and other things like that. But at this point right now, I think there are 31 regular season contests scheduled on the Region Sports Network.
And you'll be able to find them here on Facebook, on our website, on YouTube, on ihsatv.org. We're going to have not just a bunch of games, we're going to have them all over the place as well.
Yeah, and we're looking to build a social media network with our partners online that way, one of which is here tonight, Northwest Indiana Life. Doing a great job kind of walking around taking pictures. So they'll have all kinds of stuff here. Yeah. People want to take a look at this later or tomorrow. Tell them a little bit about that page. We'll actually get Chris Mullman on here at some point tonight.
He's over there taking pictures as Hammond Central's being interviewed. I spoke with Curtis, the reporter, a little while ago. Again, this is a celebration of football and, getting ready to start the season. And, got to love all the sports here in Northwest Indiana, but there's nothing like a Friday night under those lights. There's something special about it here in the region. You know how much the region loves their football, so it's a great time of the year. Really looking forward to it, and no better way than the Preseason Pigskin Party.
Absolutely, and taking a look at the house here, it's starting to fill up. The Brickies are here.
Well, we got to get them their food tickets.
Absolutely, those are some hungry Brickies right there. We've got the Whiting Oilers in the house.
Yeah, Calumet.
Zach,
Wheeler.
if you could pan out into the crowd a little bit here, kind of follow my finger if you would, please. We've got the Munster Mustangs making their first appearance with us at one of these here, Nathan, going all the way back to, 2019 when we did our first one.
First one was in 2019. Obviously couldn't have one in 2020. But 2019 we had one, and last year we had one here at Set 'em Up, and this is the first time Munster has been able to make it out to one. Again, it's a tricky time of year between practices and school starting, and it's tough to get that schedule balance. I'm glad the Mustangs were able to make it this year.
Yep, we got the Highland Trojans here. Griffith, the local team, they've got about 3 tables worth of kids here, so good for them. Highland with a big table, as I mentioned. There's some fan tables back there. This is open to the public, so feel free to come on down.
Yeah, Calumet's got new jerseys. They're debuting them here tonight.
Oh, that'll be cool. We got Hammond Central here. They're celebrating their or will be celebrating the opening of their new stadium coming up here this year.
It's beautiful. I had a chance to check that out a couple weeks ago. It is beautiful.
Yep. And speaking of that new stadium, Nathan, we're going to be working with Stojo Media this season, and the Region Sports Skycam will be introduced at different things, one of which will be a tour of the new stadium from the air. I've already spoken with Dave Verda, the principal over at Hammond Central, and we'll be able to deliver that. And I've also got some ground footage, as you recall. Yeah. I was able to ride my bike there before they even paved the track. Yeah. So we'll be able to take a look at it from the ground before and from the sky after, and that'll be kind of cool. So we'll be able to talk to Hammond Central a little later.
The West Side Cougars, Aldra Boswell is first year at the helm of the West Side Cougars. They're in the house, including big De'Eric Mister, number 73, heading to Minnesota, going to be a Golden Gopher. He's in the house here as well. Had a chance to talk to him a few times. Good kid. Always like talking to De'Eric Mister.
Yeah, I got a chance to speak with him at the Lake Central scrimmage. Nice young man, and made a conscious decision despite the fact that a lot of other people were looking at other options over the course of the summer. His decision was to stay at West Side.
Absolutely.
Glad to hear that. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
Coach Rob Robinson of Griffith. There's Big Pete.
Yeah, Pete's going to be joining us here next.
Yep. Okay, great. And we'll turn it over in just a little bit. Nathan, before we get to that here, we do want to introduce some new head coaches. There are 4 we want to mention.
Yep.
Which includes, of course, Kurt Kennedy down at Kankakee Valley making his return to Northwest Indiana. KB not going to be here tonight. That's a little bit too far of a drive, but welcome back to Kurt Kennedy. Whiting has a new coach.
Yeah, Jason Gendris. They're here tonight. He just got the job. A little bit of a turnover over there at Whiting. He just got the job recently, but he's been a part of the program, coaching at the freshman and JV level. So he's the new head man up there in the Oil City.
Yeah, how about it? And we did mention West Side already, but LaPorte also has a new head football coach.
Yeah, veteran assistant coach Bob James, who's been at LaPorte for over 2 decades, is the head man over there now, and
talk about going about things the hard way, huh? Boy.
Took a little bit of time, but eventually they got to the right call, giving a guy as dedicated as Bob James to that Slicer program. They're in good hands with Bob James out there in the Maple City.
Yeah, he's probably should have been the choice a couple of years ago, but hopefully now they've got the right man for a long time. A couple of things before we turn it over to the coaches and stuff for the interviews. Just highlights coming up this season here, things to recognize. Region football history, Nathan, a lot of tradition to it, and several anniversaries this year, including, and we're going to go from 75 down to 25. We won't mention anything other than that. But how about this? For East Chicago Roosevelt, the original power program in Northwest Indiana, 2 anniversaries. It's the 75th anniversary of their 1947 Mythical Championship and the 65th anniversary of their 1955 Mythical Championship. 6 times in a 15-year stretch between 46 and 59. They were the Mythical state champions. One of the great runs in all of Indiana high school football history. Now, forget Mythical. Let's talk winning them on the field. 45th anniversary for the Portage Indians, 1977. The third, Nathan, of 3 straight Duneland state titles, Class 3A, the big class in the early years. Boy, you want to win some trivia, ask somebody to name any of the 3 Duneland State champs between 75 and 77, and they're all going to tell you Hobart. They got to name all 3. Hobart will be one of the 3 they name.
Valpo, Merrillville, Portage, correct?
That's it, correct.
In that order?
It was Valpo, Merrillville, and Portage in that order. And they all, I believe, Merrillville had to beat Portage in 76 as the defending champs to advance, and in 77, Merrillville had to beat Valpo originally, and then the next year Portage had to beat Merrillville to do the same thing. So you're beating the defending champion to become the defending champion. And really, they say that 77 Merrillville team was better than the 76, which would be hard to believe. It's the 40th anniversary of the Hobart Brickies 1982 state finals team. Something we'll be celebrating this year, the 40th anniversary of the first ever 10-0 team in Highland football history. Jay Simmons is here on that. Back to state champs, 35th anniversary for, and not often do we get two teams in the state finals, but in 87, Hobart won the 4A state title, and Highland lost. They were runners-up in the Class 5A state title, as hard as that sounds to believe. Another trivia question to make money, go walk around Highland and ask people what year do the Trojans go to the state finals. They'll give you money saying they never went. Also, a couple other things to celebrate. That great 92 team of Merrillville, Zach Wells and the boys. First semi-state team since their state championship team. Hobart was also a semi-state team that year. And then, of course, 1997, which we'll be celebrating a big event coming up, and we'll tell you more about that later. It's the 25th anniversary. Talk about two teams going to state. It was Griffith in 97. They win it all in Class 4A. And Drayen played right before him with the great Bobby Finn, coached by Ted Karras. And they lost the 3A, but boy, what a back-to-back series that must have been for region football fans. So just some of the milestones to mark here. We'll be celebrating and mentioning all of these things as the season moves on. And again, looking for keep particular attention for an event September 10th coming up also here in Griffith, honoring that 97 team. There will be a lot more on that. But if you're a player or a coach or a member in any way, a trainer or whatever on that 97 team, get a hold of us. We're looking for you. So that's about all I think we got to cover in terms of business on our end. We're live at Set 'em Up. And Set 'em Up is on Broad Street. It's in Griffith. And Nathan, you're from
the patio's covered too, so don't let the rain deter you.
Yep, Nathan is a Griffith guy, and Nathan, when you grew up, now you're what, 2002?
Class of 2002.
The heyday, if you will.
Yeah.
While it was the heyday of Griffith football, it was not the heyday of Griffith downtown, was it?
Downtown Griffith looked a little bit different back when I was living here as a youngster than it does now, and I didn't have the patio here, at Set 'em Up. Even when I was a young adult living in Griffith, pre-children, where I could actually have a social life, they didn't have anything like this. So it's awesome. The renovations that are being done downtown, all the great businesses that are here. Downtown Griffith's a pretty cool place to be. And it helped me sell my house a few years ago, too, that Griffith's the growing community.
There's the boss right there, Tony Hobson. Let's see if we can get Tony on with us real quick. Tony, come on over. Grab a headset real quick. We're just about to finish up this segment, so your timing is perfect.
Other way around there.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're going to have Tony Hobson. Tony is the owner of this fine establishment here, Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge on Broad Street in Griffith. Tony, thanks for having us out here, buddy.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Got a great group of kids out. We love doing it.
Yeah, it's the second annual Pigskin Preseason Party here, and this man right here is the official sponsor of it. Tony, tell us about some of the other things that go on here when we're not having this kind of party. What other kind of parties are going on here?
Sure. Ralph and I built this about 13 years ago. Added the patio.
There you go.
Added the patio about 6 years ago. So we do weddings, we do quinceañeras, bridal showers, baby showers, birthday parties. We've got 8 lanes in the bowling alley. Half the kids on the Griffith football team, I think, work here as runners for the food. A couple years ago, we put a $500,000 kitchen in and have some amazing food. If you haven't tried the food, come on out, try the food. But, we're family friendly.
Right now.
There you go.
Live entertainment out here on the deck.
We do bands, we do bags, cornhole, everything that you can imagine, we do it.
Yep, so. 7 days a week?
Yes, sir, 7 days a week.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, Tony, again, thank you for coming
on. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
The host of our fine event here, that's Tony Hobson, proprietor of this fine establishment, Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge on Broad Street. We're going to be here all night long, so come on by. going to run a break and then hand it over?
Yep.
We got a break ready?
Jay Simmons and Doug Nelson going to be taking over. First up, head coach of the Highland Trojans, Pete Koulianos, is going to be joining us.
All right, he's Nathan Leonard. Let's give our crew a quick recognition before we break.
We got, we're going to start to my right. We got Mike Jamia. We got Claude Martinez, Nate Ramian, Zach Miller.
Zachariah.
I almost called him Luke.
It's Mealer, too. It's not Miller. See, there's two I's in there. It's Mealer.
Mike Zajac, Doug Nelson, Michael Bradner, Zach Jewell, Rich Castillo, Jay Simmons. I think that's it. We got Jared Schlensky coming up here later this evening as well. We got a small army here taking care of business.
Yep, and he's Nathan Laird, our coordinating producer, the guy that put all this together. So, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. If you can't make it then, stay with us. We'll be back right after this timeout with more here on the 2022 Pigskin Preseason Party on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party?
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area?
No.
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party live at Set 'em Up Lanes in Griffith, 135 North Broad Street. That is beautiful downtown Griffith. I'm joined to my far left with Greg Nelson, and in the middle, in the hot seat right here, we got Pete Koulianos, head coach of the Highland Trojans. Welcome to the show, Pete.
Thank you, Jay.
Doug, same to you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Exciting night. You guys got to be getting something going in the right direction, get ready for kickoff, huh, Pete?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, we're starting to enter that game preparation phase. We got a scrimmage coming up this week on Friday at River Forest, so our kids are really starting to get mentally prepared and really ramped up emotionally for the game.
Okay, well, let's dive into a few questions we got lined up here for you, Coach. So, taking from last season to this season, what are you building on for the future of the Trojans?
Yeah, for us, last year was kind of a mixed bag. We were experimenting with kind of different looks on offense, so we feel like this year coming in, we've kind of solidified what we're going to do offensively and defensively. We've got a lot of kids coming back. So one of our key takeaways, I think, for us as a coaching staff, and more importantly, what we communicated to our kids, was that we need to learn how to win games. When the games are close, we have to be able to continue to make plays and not make silly mistakes and shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, finish it off all the way.
Absolutely.
Four full quarters.
Absolutely.
My question, Pete, is how has the off-season buy-in been? You know, the season anymore, it's 12 months. You know, then so the season's over. Last year, you guys took a 41-7 loss to Lowell. You know, you get the weight room in the spring and, you know, then the summer. So how'd the off-season stuff go?
Yeah, for us, it's been a really good off-season. A lot of positive things have been happening. We have everybody actually around the nation has a helmet shortage. We had so many kids out that we don't have enough helmets for the amount of kids that we have.
That's a good problem to have.
Oh, it's a great problem to have. Fantastic.
So what were the numbers, varsity and then program-wide, from Pop Warner all the way up? 'Cause I know you're really involved at the lower levels.
Absolutely, yeah. For us on varsity right now, we're at 64 kids. Freshmen have 30-plus kids showing up to practice.
Great.
We've got another 34 middle school kids that have signed up to participate. And then our Pop Warner numbers, we've filled a complete spectrum of age groups. So things are looking really, really good. We're very excited for what's happening in Highland.
Yeah, it's a turnaround. Doug, go ahead.
I was going to say, it does take time in your 5th year. How do you feel that things are progressing? Do you think it's going at the pace you would like, or?
Well, obviously, I mean, we wanted to have success a little bit earlier, but again, like we said coming in, we knew it was going to be a rebuild. It was going to be a changing of the culture and getting kids to believe in buying into what we were trying to do. And so it's been a little bit testy at times for us, but we're right on track where we need to be. We finally have a group of kids now that I think can compete very favorably in our conference.
And the thing with, too, real quick, is your conference is tough.
Right.
So you don't always measure your success on your wins and losses. And I know, it's gonna get there. It's gonna eventually pay off with wins.
Right.
But I'm sure you're making progress with the little things that it takes to get the wins eventually.
Right. I mean, that's what we feel like too. We know that the wins haven't been there per se, but I think the coaches that we play against will tell you that our kids are improved. They play hard. They're in games. I mean, Hobart beat us last year, but we were beating them at halftime.
Sure.
So we've had all kind of things like that happen, and so that's why we've made such a strong push to use the term finish with the kids.
Yeah.
Because, hey, we're there. Now let's go ahead and finish off what we're trying to do. And the way that we have our numbers now, I feel pretty good. We're able to kind of finally platoon and be able to put two different units out. And so I feel like we'll be more refreshed and ready to go in the third and fourth quarter.
Okay, so out of your returning starters, who are you looking for to be a leader on this team? Because I know you look towards your seniors as leaders. So what's the next group of leaders? Who are those kids that are going to take that reins?
We're really blessed in that we have a really good group of seniors, but also a really good core of juniors. And so for us, senior-wise, we have Stevie Solomon. He's a receiver for us. He's probably one of the better kids in Northwest Indiana in terms of ability and talent. He's the one that we're going to lean on to make plays and do things for us in the passing game. We've got Cameron Bixaman. He's a defensive lineman. He's probably one of the better defensive linemen I've worked with in my time at Highland. And Leo Luviano, who's a running back for us, he's really solid. So.
You guys good. I mean, you got to have how's it looking behind the center? I mean, how's your quarterback, the guys in the backfield, the guys that are going to have the ball the most?
Sure.
How do you feel with them?
I mean, we feel really good with it. We have two guys that bring two different things to the table at quarterback. We're still working through that quarterback battle, but we feel really good about either or. Even the possibility of maybe playing both of them in different spots during games. Backfield-wise, we got everybody returning. We've got a 6'4" tight end kid named Nick Johnson, who is a solid pass threat. So we have some talent, we have some pieces. It's just a matter of, can we finish? Can we not make mistakes that we've made in the past?
Yeah.
So out of your underclassmen, has there been anybody, or maybe a senior this year, that has come out of the woodwork, surprised you? Like, oh my, where was this guy last year? And in coming out of camp, can you name a few of those kids?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a lot of kids that have been working really hard, like we talked about previous. But Dylan Zum, he's a junior. He's a kid that worked very, very hard in the weight room, and he stepped up and he's built himself into a kid that's going to compete for a starting position, if not already be a starter.
Yeah.
We don't want to reveal too much, but and then there are a couple sophomore kids that have shown up that are that are really talented as well, a couple offensive linemen. So we're really excited for the future for sure.
I know you guys are, like I said before, the conference is tough year in and year out. But and I know coach speak, the most important game's the next game and all that. But what game do you and your boys have circled, like something we really want a piece of these guys this year, or this is one that we're really looking forward to?
I mean, I think for us it's more of a respect factor. Like Griffith, for example, they put it on us a little bit last year, and so we're looking forward to getting to compete against them and show that we're not what we were a year ago. Obviously, Munster, we always enjoy playing Munster. That's a big game for us. And
the Battle of the Bridge,
the
baby.
Battle of the Bridge, and Jay knows.
Yes,
we're looking forward to that game as well. And obviously the other ones like Lowell and Hobart. We've not ever beaten Hobart at Highland, so that's definitely a game that we look forward to every year for sure.
Very good.
Yeah, and it's so many great coaches. It's nice to be able to compete against those guys and try and match wits with them. From our perspective, it's pretty cool. That's what I like the most about this conference is everybody, take your pick, doesn't matter who is on our schedule. We know it's going to be a tough game, and we really have to get dialed in to perform well.
Yeah. There's no bye weeks in this conference.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. Hey, speaking of the season, Pete, September 2nd, we've got all-class football reunion pregame cookout, 5 o'clock, $30. Please contact Mandy Jansen at 219-712-7022. That's one more time, 219-712-7022. Reserve your spot. It's going to be a great event. It's a great fundraiser for Highland football. Yep. It's going to remember the Shelbourne era, but it's an all-class football reunion. And again, all the benefits, everything goes to the football team, the football program. I'm sure you guys are excited about it to see some of the old players come out for the game, Pete.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's another one that we have circled in terms of that. We really want our alumni to come back and be a part of it. Last year we had an alumni tent as well. Brought some of our alumni back last year, and then we're looking to hopefully let this thing grow and be an annual thing and get people back and relive the memories and all that stuff from playing at Highland.
Yeah, that's September 2nd, 5 o'clock. Yep. Reserve your spot. Again, call Mandy Jansen, 219-712-7022. Coach, any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, I just thank you guys for having us and hosting us, and we're really excited for this year, and hopefully our kids will perform.
Well, one good thing about tonight is glad you're not playing tonight, because it would be a nasty mud fest out there, even though you're playing on turf now, but it would still be a slick ball night.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed. Yeah, I'm glad it's not tonight for sure, no question.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Doug, we'll be right back. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Welcome back to the Regions Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge and beautiful downtown Griffith. We are at 135 North Broad Street, and I'm joined by Doug Nelson on my far left over there, and the third-year head coach, Rob Robinson of the Griffith Panthers. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Again, exciting evening. You can feel it in the air a little bit. The locker room's starting to stink a little bit.
Not a little bit. It stinks a lot.
It's there, I know. But a lot of Febreze is going on, but it's an exciting time of the year.
Well, Coach, let's dive right into it. Okay, last year, 4-6 season. You're progressing through the program. Okay, how did take away from 21 to 22? How is that transitioning from one year to the next?
You know, it all comes down to your leadership positions. You know, your older kids that have been in the program for the last couple of years. You know, being my third year, having to deal with COVID the first year, and not even sure if you were going to have a season and all that. So just being able to get beyond all of that stuff, you know, and build our numbers up and kind of get Griffith football back to where it needs to be. We didn't reach that in 4-6. That's not good enough for me. That's not good enough for the kids.
Right.
And we've carried that over to the summer workouts and springtime weightlifting, and we're really looking forward to 2022 season.
To piggyback off that, what you just mentioned, how was the offseason? I mean, that's everything, as you know, the weight room, the buy-in, and did the kids buy in there?
It's been huge. You know, I brought in an old Griffith coach by the name of Jim Pickett, who used to coach at Griffith, and I was able to steal him away from Highland and bring him back home. And, you know, and he's my weight room guy, and he has done just an unbelievable job in motivating these kids in the weight room. And we are, it's easy to say we're twice as strong as we were last year, just based on work ethic and the leadership in there. Sure. And it's going to be night and day for us on the field.
Yeah, a lot can be built in that locker or that weight room. Sorry.
Yeah, when you're in there suffering and you're going through those early morning or late evening workout sessions and stuff, and you suffer as a team, you know, you grow together as a team. And
Absolutely.
I feel that we are as strong as a team right now than we have been in my time at Griffith.
That's great.
Hey, what are the numbers like from the varsity all the way down through the Pop Warner? And I'm sure you're involved at every level, and you probably keep track of those numbers constantly. How's that going for the program?
You know, they're improving. 2 years ago, we've had, you know, I think we've had 19 dressed for our sectional game. And this year right now, we have 52, you know, grades 9 through 12. So the numbers are improving. Our biggest weakness is our junior class, that COVID group.
Right.
We only have 2 juniors on our football team right now. So
that hurts.
It hurts a little bit, but it gives an opportunity to a lot of these really talented sophomores that we have who are just going to be kind of trial by fire out there against some really good teams. And we feel that, you know, by the end of the season, we're going to be a really tough out once those sophomores know what it's like to play varsity football.
Now, who are some of the you want to mention brag on some of your kids?
Yeah,
who
sure.
Who are your skilled guys? Who are the guys that are going to be making decisions your coaches on the field.
Right. This year it all comes down to our quarterback. We're going back to Griffith football. We're running triple option this year.
Okay.
And stuff. So that all comes down to the quarterback. And Gary Quillen is his name. He's a senior this year. This will be his second year with us at Griffith, but he's played a lot of quarterback. He was actually played for me in middle school when I was at Gavitt, and then he's worked his way over to Griffith last year. Played a little bit, broke his hand, has come back, and now he is our quarterback, and he's taken to the option. He wasn't real sure about it at the beginning, because he was a spread guy. I want to throw it 30 times, but the more we run it in practice and the more he sees how effective it can be, the more he's bought in, and he's running the show. But I think for Griffith, our big guy back this year is number 5, Connor Cervantes. If we remember, he broke his ankle last year, the Tuesday before game 1, and he missed the last 2 games of the previous year. So Connor's missed the last 12 football games for us, and he is by far our best player, and I'd put him up against anybody in the region, Connor Cervantes. I think he's that good. I think he's a Division I football player, and when he steps out on the field, everybody on the field steps up their play, and just having him out there has been better than anyone we could ever, have move in, because just he is our emotional leader of the team, and him being out there just helps so much.
That's what I was just going to ask you. You answered the question for me. Who's going to be that team leader guy? When they call at the end of practice, is he the guy that they bring in and he calls the break at the end of the practices?
He's not. That's our wild man Carter Crow, number 2.
There we go.
Carter, younger brother of Carson, who is an all-state, football player for us, and Carter's our rah-rah, cheerleading kind of guy.
You always got to have one of those.
But he's earned that right, because he never misses. He never misses workouts. He never misses practice. He's always the first in line. And so Carter Crow has been that rah-rah guy that we've needed, that we haven't had the last couple of years, and you can tell on the team that it's made a big difference.
Yeah, those, like you said, you need one of those.
Yes,
you need a locker room guy. You need a sideline guy. Everybody's got a job. But I look at your schedule here, Coach, and what game stands out for you? I mean, again, like I said earlier, I know game 1's always the most important. But
battle of the bike path,
It is the battle of the bike path, and it is the only game that we're thinking about right now, because the towns are so close together, and they're so invested in this game, and we get together the night before at the park, and we have games, and it's become a big spectacle, and this will be the second year, and so, we got the best of the Trojans last year, and I'm sure just like us, they've been looking at this game since the end of last season, and that's all we're talking about right now. I mean, we've got some hammers on the schedule when you look at it, with Hobart and Lowell on there. Hanover Central's really good this year. So we have a lot of good teams on our schedule, but right now it's all week to week, game to game, and right now it's all about the Highland Trojans.
Yeah, I look at your schedule and I don't see a week off out there.
Yeah, there's not. There's not. It's a really good football league. The GSSC is getting better every year too. And, you're starting to see field turf go in at Boone Grove. You're starting to see JV teams come back at Boone Grove. And I think that's great for our conference.
Right.
It helps raise the level of our football playing, because this is the last chance we get at Hobart and Lowell. They're going off the schedule for next year because they've moved up. Hanover's moved out of the conference.
Right.
So we're losing those teams off our schedule next year. But so we got to use it as motivation this year to kind of put a better program and better product on the field than we did last year against those really good teams.
Sure.
Follow up with that. Is there one guy, not maybe one, but a few guys that came out of nowhere this off season in camp and through the summer, and then now in camp they're really starting to solidify a starting position that you didn't think was going to?
Yeah, we've got some young sophomores, especially at the offensive line. We have a young man named Amir Abuzir who'll be starting at offensive tackle for us. He's about 6'1", 215 pounds. Full of energy. We got to put him next to someone who can tell him what to do every play, because he just doesn't know football all that well yet. But he's learning. But he goes 100 miles an hour all the time.
That's the kind of guy you want.
And you need him on the offensive line, especially when you're running option football, because it's a lot of head banging up there. And he's done a great job. We've got another sophomore by the name of AJ Farr, who's going to be starting at middle linebacker for us this year, who's really took it to heart this past offseason. He's been lifting weights like crazy. He's added 20 pounds this offseason of muscle. He watches game film constantly to try to get better at being a linebacker, and so him and another sophomore by the name of Jackson Lawson, who he broke his hip for us last year, but we think that this kid's on the road to being a 1,000-yard per season rusher, and we're really looking forward to big things from him this year.
That's exciting. That you got a lot of youth.
Yeah, we do.
Something to get you excited about, right?
Yeah, the freshman class is also really talented. So, we're looking at, 2 years down the road, we're looking to be really strong, we think. But we got to find some juniors to help us, kind of give our seniors a little bit of a backup. And it'd be nice to be able to play those sophomores a little bit more with the kids their own age so they can learn, how to be successful. It's hard when you're a sophomore to get thrown out there against the likes of Hobart and, Coach Osika's program and have to learn how to play against, a lot of those D1, high-level type state championship level teams. And so as a sophomore, it's hard to ask them to do that, but we're going to ask them to do that, and they're going to fight, and they're going to give us 48 minutes of what we got, and that's all I ask. And at the end of the game, and we'll get better, and we'll keep going. So it's a challenge every week in high school football. We're happy to have that challenge every week. I'm glad it's super exciting that the season's ready to go, and I wish we could play tomorrow because I'm ready to go.
You sure you don't want to play right now? This is
this
is bone weather.
This is bone weather.
It is pouring rain out.
I hope it rains like this every Friday. We'll win. We'll try to win 3-0. We've got an excellent kicking game, and so we'll try to win 3-0.
As announcers, we enjoy the running option because the clock keeps moving.
You're exactly
We're
right.
not here till 11 o'clock at night. Some of these spread offenses, you're like, the clock's not moving.
No, we're going to run it plenty. So, fans better get there early because it could be second quarter before you know it.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot. Any parting thing you want to say to the fans or to the Panther Nation out there?
Hey, just Griffith football's back. It's the 25th anniversary of the 1997 state championship team. We're getting a bunch of those guys to come back for the week 4. We're having a big celebration. So, come on out. The boys have been working really hard. Come out, see that fruit of that hard work, and come root on the Panthers.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck to you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Nielsen, we'll be right back right after this. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this time out on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know? Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party?
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Settlement Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful downtown Griffith, located at 135 North Broad Street. We are joined by Doug Nelson, as always, and then Coach Jason Grunwald from Munster Mustangs. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great. Welcome to the show.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's dive into a few of these questions we got lined up here for you. So, going back to last season, I know it was 3-8, 0-5 in the NCC. What are you building off from last year to this year?
Well, we've kind of been building on, a lot for a while. Like this is going to be my 5th year as the head coach, taking over for a long time guy. This senior group was my first 8th grade group.
Oh wow!
So the guys I brought tonight there's 6 guys, and they probably started for me since they were sophomores. So they've kind of taken, let's say like a beating the last few years, but they were very young.
Right.
And in normal years with a lot of numbers, they probably wouldn't have played right away or so fast. But we're very happy that they did. And we're thinking that we should be ready to maybe take that next step. Hopefully, they worked pretty hard. But yeah, we have about 6 guys that play some sophomores.
Wow,
and then we have,
nice.
Then our juniors that are guys that are juniors this year played as sophomores last year. So we have quite a few guys that are going to have a year or 2 playing. It's just kind of finding those extra pieces now this year. And anytime your quarterback's coming back,
that's always a plus.
It's always a plus. And when you have a good offensive line that's coming back, that's even more a plus. So we're very happy where we stand there. But yeah, they're great kids. I've been around them since they were when I taught middle school, and they walked in their locker room like 6th grade. So I've known these kids for a long time, and I think that's kind of helped. Hopefully we'll see some success with that, with the relation building, and then them, being targeted and playing such an early age. They got a lot of Friday night games on their belt that.
There's going to be no Friday night jitters for these guys.
I hope not. I think there always are, but I hope it's a little less than normal.
Right.
Coach, how'd the offseason go? We always talk about programs that are built in the offseason. So, you're done.
The offseason went well. It's usually normal. Kids come in and out, but, for the most part, like the kids we were counting on were there consistently.
That's
that was like the biggest thing. The kids are always going to come, back and forth, or especially in the summer, bring out vacations. Munster, we fight a lot of travel baseball. We try to fight a lot of basketball kids and everything else. But the main kids that we're counting on were always there. Yeah. And that's probably the biggest thing that's happened the last few years is, when I first started, like the commitment level of kids was so small. And like that small commitment level has gotten bigger. So it might have been 5 kids the first year. Now it's, 20 kids are consistently coming. So that commitment level is bigger. And well, hopefully that reflects, on our field of play and how we compete and everything else.
So did you guys do anything over the summer? Any 7-on-7s or anywhere?
We did.
Like that?
We hosted. We're allowed 5 competition days. I kind of cut it down to 4. We hosted one with Hammond Central and LaPorte at our place, 7-on-7, 11-on-11, went well. And then we went to we're a triple option team, So we run the flex bone, kind of like Army Navy. We went to a TMT camp with Bart Curtis for 3 days at the end of summer, and we just triple midline toss and just went after it for 3 days. And that to me going to the team camp was a good thing. Got the kids away from Munster. They got to be in the a dorm room with another buddy that I paired them with. We took their phones away, so they couldn't be on their phones, which we all complained about. And they got the bond. And then the camp is very skill oriented, so it's not we might have like 7 practices within that team camp, but there's not a lot of team time. Like you're getting like a lot of drills. Our quarterback gets a million meshes, so we come out of there feeling really well with reads and all that stuff. We had about 30, 35 kids go to camp, like our core group, and we were very happy coming out of camp.
Very good.
Hey, talking about your program, how the numbers all the way through the program? Are you guys making a nice move to get more and more?
I think so. We're looking around 50, probably about sophomore through senior, and that's a pretty good number for us right now. Freshmen in 8th grade, I mean, that's very hard to tell.
Yeah.
We're floating around 25 probably each. So we're probably better than some schools. We could fill all 3 teams.
Right.
But we still got kids floating in from vacation the first week of August. We pick up a lot when school starts, especially at the middle school level. And then we pick up, even like new freshmen that come in the door, we'll pick them up. Like I won't turn anybody away that's a freshman or 8th grader at the start of the school year.
I agree.
The older guys, if they're a sophomore or junior, I'll try to keep them. But once they start school, they got to get 10 practices in before they can play. So they got to understand that they might not play right away.
Right.
But yeah, we're not in the business of turning kids away. But no, we're very happy with our numbers. I think our 8th grade group was a Pop Warner group last year that went down to Orlando. So they're a very, very talented group within that group. But yeah, our Pop Warner numbers are probably looking at 100 some kids playing Pop Warner, which is good. I think this is the first year in like 4 years that we're fielding a U6 team for Pop Warner.
That's great.
So, high school football comes in waves.
Yeah, it does.
It comes in waves, and sometimes when your wave is really down, sometimes it kind of gets you in a rut.
Yeah,
but we're thinking we're kind of trying to hopefully get out of that rut right now.
No, that's good.
So we're very happy where we're at.
Coach, I was just going to ask you, Brett, I should have mentioned it with the Griffith coach, but talk about your staff. A lot of those guys, a lot of times they kind of go under the radar. Talk about those guys. Brag on them a little bit.
Yeah, we're happy with our staff. We got 5 guys on the varsity staff. I think 4 of them are Munster alumni. So you got Coach Largus, Tom Largus, who's been with us forever. He was kind of Leroy's right-hand man. We kind of got him back in the game last year. He was with me for 10 years when I was an assistant with Leroy. Ryan Popa was an outstanding player in the 90s for Munster. He was an all-state player, played in the North All-Star game. He's our defensive coordinator. Dylan Paree is our offensive line DN coach. He was also a North-South All-Star, all-state player for us in 2014-2015. Chris Bedank is our receivers and Sam outside linebacker coach, and he was a graduate in 2017. And then we had a new hire, Doug Paget, who's first time coaching the varsity level, but he's also our track coach in the building. So we try to fill. My number one priority when I'm looking at a staff is trying to fill guys that are in the building. That's number one. And number 2 is trying to find guys that have investment in Munster. Always have it. That's another connection that that especially when your program may be a little on the downside. They're guys that know where Munster football was before when they played and what's expected, and that kind of also helps kind of relate and help them relate to the kids and help them they've already fully invested in the program. Yeah. So they want to see us see it succeed as well.
Right.
So those are my varsity staff, and I got your freshman staff. You got I got 2 guys that played at Gavitt, Steve Runyon and Chris Riley. They're guys that played in the 90s for Gavitt. They both played college football. And then I got a middle school staff of 3 guys, and 2 of them are Munster graduates. Another one's just an old man that likes to help out.
Yeah, so you got to have those guys around.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely. They're all good people. Most of our staff's in the building, which is good at all levels. But then if they're not, the other majority is a Munster graduate or Munster alumni, which we feel that is that's super important if we're trying to build something. They know what the school looks like. They know, the Munster pride, all that good stuff.
And they've been through the battles.
Absolutely. They've been through the ups and downs. And we're hoping on the way up, but it's out of our hands. The kids are the ones that got to play now.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Hey, out of your returning starters, who are you looking for to be the leader?
Oh man, everyone that's sitting at the table back there. all those seniors. AJ Preboy's he's our number 7. He's our quarterback. He's back. He played for me as a sophomore at corner, and then we asked him to play quarterback last year in the triple option. He's never played quarterback before in his life, and he did an outstanding job last year. So we're very fortunate to have him back. It's kind of a risky move, trying to find a guy that's never played quarterback before. But I went on the theory that if you can play corner as a sophomore, you're pretty mentally tough, and if you're going to be mentally tough, and you're going to run a triple option, your quarterback will be mentally tough if he's carrying that ball. So we kind of went with that philosophy. Number 45 back there is our DN linebacker. He's going to be our fullback this year, Brendan Badeslich. He started for me as a freshman halfway through the year. So we're very fortunate to have him. He's an awesome kid, high motor kid. If he runs the ball like he did at team camp, I think we'll be all right. But he also plays, he plays defense too. So that's
some two-way starters.
Two-way starters. They're all two-way starters. Aiden Tarabi, number 58 back there, is our starting center. He started for me at tackle as a sophomore. So he's going to get his second round of being the center, snapping under center, which is kind of unconventional compared to everybody else. I think we might be the only team around here that's under center, at least in the Northwest Indiana.
Griffith Panthers are also.
Griffith Panthers, I think, are going under center with the flexible as well. But it's been a long time since teams go under center. We might have been we were the minority last year. But if you're going to be under center, you better have a good center. And we think he's one of the best. And we love him. He's also a 4.3 student, so he kicks butt in the classroom. And so right there, I got 3 guys that are going to be three-way, almost a four-year starter.
That's awesome. Hey, anybody that you were surprised with coming out of camp right now? Anybody that's all of a sudden, boy, you didn't really think that they were going to come out, and then all of a sudden they proved you wrong?
Oh, absolutely. This kid, Daniel Asgadam, his number is 6. I never thought in a million years he would be like another fullback, and he was never even on my radar until we put him there, and we think we're going to be able to rotate 2 guys there. So we are very happy with him, and he's also going to play by our Sam outside linebacker. So we are very happy with his progress, and coming from he's going to be a junior. He came out late last year. He came out like August 1st last year as a sophomore, and kind of went through like the JV thing, and I think he's going to be really good for us coming up.
Anything else, Doug?
I was just real quick. What are some team goals that you guys set this year? I know a lot of times teams sit down and say, all right, we all want to win. We all want to go to Indianapolis, of course, and play for a ring. But what are some goals that you guys are working towards and really competing for every day?
We really don't set like long-term goals, because sometimes I've learned that when you set goals and you don't achieve them, that like the season kind of goes down.
Sure.
So we try to put the emphasis on, let's take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And let's, hey, if we're running team and we have a 20-minute team period, we got 25 team reps in yesterday. Let's try to get 30. We try to shorten the goals.
Sure.
But I used to be a very big goal guy when I first started. Hey, we got to beat Highland. We got to win the opener. We got to win our home games. We got to this. And then when we never achieved any of that, they kind of went on like a downward spiral.
Sure.
So I've kind of taken a different approach the last few years, and it's more of what can we get better at today?
Sure.
And if we can improve daily, hopefully, winning will. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
Everybody wants, have a perfect season. Everybody wants to ride home and have a parade for the state championship.
Sure.
But sometimes you set them so big, then you don't achieve it.
You need to set short-term, realistic goals.
I think,
and that leads to wins.
Yeah, that works for us. That works for us, and just a practice thing. Like, hey,
sure.
You can still get better. We're striving for perfection. Hoping to achieve excellent, right? So they weren't very happy a couple of days ago when we do this conditioning called Perfect 10s. They always believe that they're going to get it in 10, no matter how. Even if they did it perfect, they're never going to be perfect. They're never going to be perfect.
It's not.
Some coaches are always going to put the thumb down. You're never going to be perfect. And it's kind of just getting that attitude for them that, hey, you just got to keep going.
Yeah,
you just got to keep going. But no, we're very happy with our guys. I love these kids. they've been around for. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, I've known them since the middle school. I taught there. Like when they leave, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like not seeing them.
Yeah.
I've seen them for the last 7 years. I mean, that's a long time. But we're very happy where we're at. I think we should, compete and have a pretty good season. But it's up to them how hard they compete. And sometimes, you can play as hard as you want, and you still run out of luck.
Yep, and staying healthy. We can't control staying healthy.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Your attitude.
Effort and attitude is number one. Effort and attitude is number one, and don't look too far ahead, and don't look behind.
Right.
Live in the moment and go with that. But we don't spend any time talking about goals because I found out that's just not. That doesn't work for us. It might work for other people. It just doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
All right, well, Coach, thanks a lot, Coach Grunwald.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Anytime.
We're watching Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful downtown Griffith, 135 North Broad Street. We are joined with Greg Nelson, who's been my co-pilot on this journey, and right next in the middle in the hot seat is Coach Boswell in his first year at Westside. Welcome to the program, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have anybody from the region, football coach-wise, on our station.
Yeah, very much. Can you tell us a little about where you're from? Where were you here before Westside?
Yeah, I'm from Gary. I played at Westside back in the day. Graduated in '97, and then I went on to Ball State and played 4 years down there. And I coached at Westside. This is actually my second stint. I was an offensive coordinator in 2014 when we went to the sectional championship and had some good players on that team.
You had some receivers on that team.
Lonnie Johnson, John Bay Johnson. So then I kind of got away from coaching. Spent some time coaching my kids in Pop Warner and got the call and got the assignment to come back now as the head coach. So I'm excited.
What style of offense are you bringing with you?
Well, we're gonna be smash mouth. I mean, we're gonna be power football. Representing the region, tradition.
That is tradition.
Running the football and play action pass, throwing it over the top. We got some guys that can run and go get it. So, but I mean, I want our team to really encompass toughness and grit, and so we're gonna run the football.
All right.
When did you? I know you mentioned this is your first year. When did you get started as the head coach?
Yeah, I really started June 1st.
How was your summer then? That's what I'm kind of going.
Yeah, summer was great. I got in before school was over.
Okay.
Got to meet the kids, and we really got started on June 1st with our conditioning program, and the kids really bought in, and we had a little bit of different style of conditioning than what they were used to. And in our first meeting, I told them we don't stretch and we don't condition. So that was a little shock for them. They're like, what are you talking about? But just the style of play that we have, the up-tempo style, we try to condition that way. And then we train more for speed than, lifting a lot of weights and getting real bulky. So I told them I wanted a track team with football helmets on. So
there you go.
That's what we're looking to have.
That's an interesting perspective. I like it.
Yeah.
So, being your first year, how are the numbers?
Numbers are good. We've had about 40 to 50 kids participating every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
School starts tomorrow, so we're anticipating a rush of freshmen coming in tomorrow. So my goal was to have 75 rostered by the first game, and I think we're looking good in that range. But I've had 40 or 50 guys showing up every day, committed, a lot of good seniors, but a lot of underclassmen that I'm excited about as well.
Are the seniors buying into what you're selling?
Seniors are definitely bought in.
Awesome.
Seniors are bought in, and Derek, Mr. Alante, Alexander, good senior class. They kind of took the leadership role, and really the younger guys just jumped on board. So we've had a great summer.
What about your staff this year, Coach? Who's helping you out? Can you brag on them a little bit?
Yeah, definitely can brag on my staff. Most importantly, my assistant head coach, who had to hold it down for practice today so that I could be here, is Anthony Jones, who played with me at Westside and at Ball State. He was a running back for Westside and running back for the Cardinals. So excited to have him. Then Marcus Carter is a defensive back coach. Is someone I coached that was on our 2014 sectional championship team. So a lot of guys. And then I've got two other former head coaches on our staff as well, who were head coaches at Roosevelt High School before it closed. So we've got some experience there. Ronald White used to be the head coach at Roosevelt, and now he's coaching my defensive line.
Isn't it neat to coach with guys that you coached? You know what I mean?
I love it.
You're like, remember when I was telling you that? That's
stuff
like that.
Exactly.
It goes full circle.
When you hear them repeating things back that you told them, I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
You remember
you were listening. You were listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been fun.
Good. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is. All about having fun. So, Coach, who out of your senior class are you going to look to lean on?
Sure. Well, of course, Derek Mister, our offensive tackle, who's already committed to Minnesota.
Awesome.
6'7", 300 pounds, can run. He also plays on the basketball team, so he's a good athlete. But more than that, he's a good person. He's a 3.8 GPA student, so he takes care of business on the field and off the field.
That's what you like to see.
And he's really taken the leadership role. He's a captain, of course. He's a member of our leadership council, a group of five got two seniors one junior, one sophomore, one freshman that meet with me on team leadership issues. He's of course the senior member of the leadership council. But we've got Alante Alexander, I've already mentioned, who's a wide receiver, defensive back. You know, we've got Simeon Richardson, who's also a defensive lineman. So we've got about, I would say, I think they just took their senior picture. It was 15 strong seniors that have really led the way for us.
That is awesome. I mean, especially when you come in as a first-year coach and you've got a big group of seniors like that, it makes life a lot easier.
A lot easier. They take some things off of my plate for sure.
Yeah, when the players are leading and buying in and leading the younger guys, they listen to them a lot more than they're going to listen to us.
Oh, of course. Just like at home, nobody listens to mom and dad. They don't listen to mom and dad.
Yeah.
But we've had a senior-led team, but our sophomores and our juniors have really, followed behind them. You can have a leader, but if nobody's following you, then then you're really just walking out for a stroll. You know. But our underclassmen have really bought in, and they follow De'Eric. He has what they all want. He's got the scholarship offers, so when he speaks, they listen. And I'm proud of our team. We had a rough summer. I came in, like I said, I implemented some new things. And it was, when a new coach is in, it's always going to be a little friction, but it's been as smooth as I could have anticipated.
Very good.
That is awesome. Is there anybody that's come out of camp that surprised you that you didn't think was going to be a starter, and all of a sudden maybe in the last couple of weeks you're like, wait a minute, this guy's coming around?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had two guys come off the basketball court. They've been traditionally hoopers for Westside, and Travion Williamson is a wide receiver and a defensive back for us. He was a guard on the basketball team, and I'm expecting big things for him. And then Israel Hines, who was a point guard when the team went to semi-state. He was a sophomore a couple years ago. So he has kind of a gravitas or a leadership character, being a point guard. People just kind of look at him, and you can tell he's got a little bit of a different swagger when he comes on the field, being a hooper and having played through that playoff run and going all the way to semi-state in basketball. I'm anticipating some good things from him. And we've got a running back, Omarion Yoboro, 6'1", 225 pounds, can run like the wind. He last year he was a backup, and he didn't really, get a lot of carries, but we're expecting big things out of him this year.
But you put him right behind De'Eric Minster, and anybody can run that ball, but he's going to run it even better, right?
Yeah, it's about 500 pounds coming right at you. So like I said, we're going to run the ball.
All right.
You see why.
I love, we talk about that swagger of your point guard, and you can't teach that.
No.
That is so important to have on the field.
Well, at Westside, we say we invented swagger.
There you go.
We invented it. We've been doing it a long time.
Right.
Orange and blue, we invented swag.
Right.
So our kids they have fun. We do a lot of things to kind of give them some leeway to be themselves and be creative, and they're having fun. So that's we say play Cougar fast. That's one of my acronyms, and for the F in fast is for fun.
There you go.
Fun, accountable, smart, and tough. So
I like that.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Any final thoughts before we let you go here, Coach?
No, we're just excited. We're just excited to get going. I mean, our staff has really been working hard for the last couple months, and our kids, I'm excited to unleash it. They've been scrimmaging and playing against themselves, and they're really, really excited to go show what we've been doing and actually hit somebody else. So we're looking forward to it.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Coach Boswell.
Yeah.
Doug and I will be back right after this break. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this time out on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network presentation of Preseason Pigskin Party live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful downtown Griffith, Indiana, 135 North Broad Street. We're back with Doug Nelson, and in the hot seat is Coach Adam Hudak from Hammond Central Wolves. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you excited about this year? Getting off to a good start. What's the feeling so far?
Well, the fact that we don't have to bus to practice is the best thing in the world.
That's a plus.
I mean,
right?
Getting the kids on a bus to go to Gavitt was a tremendous ordeal every day.
Yeah.
Having a scrimmage this Friday at home is very exciting for the school. Kids are very proud of the field and the locker room, and we had one scrimmage this summer at home versus Chicago Revis. Actually, their coach Tim used to be the Hammond High head coach back in the day.
Okay.
So. It was cool to have it, a home scrimmage and stuff like that, and we're really looking forward to Friday night and being under the lights for the first time ever.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. So tell us, what do you take away from last season, bringing into this season?
Well, last season we were up against the wall in so many different ways. I mean, I didn't really know the kids. I got hired late, and I obviously wasn't teaching in the building and stuff like that. So, they got to learn who I was last year, and then I teach freshman biology, and then whole off season going into summer. This is what summer's going to be like. We've had 40 kids most of the summer, which is tremendous.
That's a good number.
Last year I was fighting to have 15, 16 kids in the summer. So, we're looking forward to what's going on. And, when you have people know the expectations, you can raise your expectations.
Right.
Yeah,
very much. What are some goals this year? I know, again, I know I'm going to call you out just a little bit. You kind of pointed at your win-loss record. That's not always about wins and losses, Coach. It really isn't. And I'm saying that, and I've coached a long time, and You're making progress. That's all we can ask for. Your kids are working hard for you. You know, they're staying in school, working hard. That's again, it's not all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I started my career at Lake Station. You know, my second year there, we won 4 games. We won a sectional game. I was very proud of that. But on the piece of paper, we were 4-7. But it was an awesome season. But you know, coming back to our goals this year, we want to be playing football in October that are meaningful games.
Yeah.
You know, we got Westside at the end. We got Morton at the end. We want to have a chance at the conference title. That's just like this game means something this year. That's the goal.
For sure.
Have those games have a meaning. You know, this is the last year of the conference. You know, let's fight for that title.
And I look at the schedule that you got here. You got no off weeks. You've got a tough game every week in and out. It's going to be a brutal schedule for you.
Yeah, it is. You know, right off the bat, we have to go out to South Bend again. I counted last year. We had almost every game was in a different time zone, except for Highland, and we played Westside in locally. But every other game we were out of the time zone, and we started this year. You know, we got to leave right after school to get there to South Bend, Washington for that game. So that's week 1 being on the road like that. It's our 3rd day of school. It's in for a long day for the kids.
Yeah, it's going to be a real long day.
How in the world do you get Pioneer on your schedule? Was it just they needed the games and you needed games? And, I mean, they're every year really good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like really good.
Yeah,
we were in that game last year too, to be honest. In the 3rd quarter, we were right with them. We didn't have a quarterback that game either. Our quarterback was out with COVID, so we were doing a little bit of wildcat. But anyway, they needed a week 5 game. We needed a week 5 game, and middle of season's the hardest games to fill.
Yes, it is.
Sure. So that's actually a 4-year contract. So this is year 2.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they're coming to us this year because that was one of the different time zone games we played last year.
Yeah, and people don't understand how hard it is to put a schedule together.
Oh, 100%.
People think, well, you're good this year, so you should load up, or you should. That's not how it works.
Not at all.
It's 2 or 4 years ahead of
it is.
At times, and it's not easy.
And the fact that we don't have a conference anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, Chris Moore and I have sat down hour upon hour, figure out our schedule. And it's an ordeal for sure.
For sure.
And then you got to look who doesn't have JV games, and you want to fill those up. I know we're playing Calumet twice this year for JV, just so the kids get a chance to play.
They don't care who they're playing.
Exactly.
Just get the helmet on and go out there and play.
100%.
And so, Coach, coming in from last season to this season, who are you looking for to be team leaders offensively, defensively, on the field? You know, sort of the guy who they rally around. You know, all kinds of different leaders out there.
I mean, it all starts with Jordan Woods. All-state last year, and for him to be all-state with us only having 2 wins, I mean, that's a special type of player. He's back this year. He's one of our captains. And then Edgar Decker is going to be man in the middle. He's another one of our captains. He didn't play last year, but he was a force at Gavitt his freshman and sophomore year, and he's back now. And teams are going to have to definitely scout him out and get the defense around him.
Right.
So
it's gonna. I'm just looking forward to. I'm excited for your kids to run out and play on their field for the first Friday night. That's going to be because you have a beautiful facility.
Yeah.
My family drove by the high school. I was like, dang, God, that's a good college. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome. It really has.
I'm really excited for you guys and look forward to that. Real quick, talk about your assistant coaches. Who's helping you this year? And a lot of times they go kind of under the radar. Who's helping you out?
I've had some guys. Coach Harry Mooney's been with me since Lake Station. So he came with me from Lake Station to Wheeler to Hammond Central. He goes wherever I go.
Just can't shake him, can't you?
I can't get rid of him. Can't get rid of him.
Like an old penny, right?
Exactly. Our defense coordinator this year is Deshaun Rice. He's actually a Hammond Clark grad from back in the day. He played under Nick Testa, who's at Lake Central, Keith Kovachik's been with me. He's one of my O-line coaches. He's been with me from Lake Station as well, from Lake Station to Wheeler and to Hammond Central here. So, and then Coach Barry Tyler, the city councilman. He's on my staff, and he does a lot of the little things and get us, make sure we're doing stuff in the community as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. You want to get that involvement.
Absolutely.
That's what get those guys to buy in and get some community support.
Yeah, and then Mike Caston, he's on my staff. He's the head baseball coach. He's a teacher in the building, so that helps out as well.
You gotta have guys in the building just for recruiting purposes,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
That and to keep everybody in line.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. As much as we can do, right? We can try.
So name me some guys that sort of came out and surprised you this summer and the last couple weeks of camp here.
Well, I hate to call him Little Woods, but Deshaun Woods, he's Jordan's little brother and he's a playmaker. People are going to see him this year and be like, holy cow, So he's going to be a sophomore. He started as a freshman.
Oh wow!
But he's taking that next step. Nikes Evans is another freshman who started as a freshman, but you're 14, 15-year-old freshman, so now you're getting to be 15, 16-year-old sophomore. The maturity level and you get a little bit bigger, faster, stronger. We actually started 5 freshmen in our against Munster in the sectional last year, so those guys are becoming sophomores, and it's really helped us out. Jeremiah Ruth is a Hammond High kid. He started for me last year at outside backer. He's a tough kid. He's a 100% football player, like tough as nails.
You got to have those guys
exactly.
out there. You love the when they bring it out there on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Anything else, Doug?
What are some goals you guys have for this year? Again, we talked about the wins and losses and so on, and competing when the games matter in October and when the snow gets on the ground. And
we got a sectional. You got Merrillville, you got the top dog right there. So you just want to play a game in November. That'd be great for the kids. We always get that bye now, so you got to win one game in sectionals to play in November, and that'd be awesome.
Sure.
It'd be very cool for the kids to be able to get that done.
Awesome.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for coming out. That was Coach Hudak from, I'm going to say it right this time, Hammond Central Wolves.
Here we go.
All right. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Welcome back to the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful downtown Griffith, located at 135 North Broad Street. We are joined still with Doug here by my side. Doug Nelson helped me navigate through this evening. And now we have Coach Craig Osika from the Hobart Brickies. Welcome to the broadcast, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited to have you on. Again, this is one of the better teams in the region this year. We think heading into it, and hopefully everybody's can stay healthy and keep going in the right direction and get you back down to Indy again this year, right?
That's the biggest thing, is staying healthy.
Yeah.
You got to get lucky and stay healthy.
Yep.
Well, Coach, let's dive right into it. So what do you take away from last season to this season? I know you got that sophomore quarterback coming back. So what are you looking for this season?
Well, I think you get a year of growth from some of those young guys that we asked to step up, especially Noah at quarterback. And, having Trey in our system for his second year helps out. He had to learn the system last year, and obviously he learned it pretty quickly and did a fantastic job for us. But, I think that they were disappointed in the loss in the low in the sectionals, and I think that a lot of guys that we have coming back were expecting more, so they're hungry. And when you're in a sectional with Lowell, you always know that you got to go through them to move on. So, our goal is to continue to play well, and I always tell them to trust the process, and we got to be playing our best football week 10.
Yeah, well, look at the schedule real quick. There's no off weeks in this schedule.
No.
And got Chesterton and Merrillville week 1 and 2. That's pretty tough.
And we set it up that way. And as long as I'm the head coach there, if I have a say in it, we're going to play 2 Duneland schools. And I think that really gives you an idea of where you're at. If you can come out of those first 2 weeks healthy and hopefully be maybe 1-1, or a couple years ago we were 0-2 and still made a run to semi-state. So I think that really gives us an idea of who we are when we play teams like that, and really gives us an idea, and then kind of shows our kids like, hey, we're not as good as maybe you think you are yet.
And a little humble pie is pretty good early in the season, right?
Absolutely.
How was your off-season, Coach? Your off-season, as you know, is everything in high school athletics, and the weight room and buying in and some film. How'd it go this year?
Well, it's busy. I mean, obviously, this football's year-round now, so pleased with what the things we were able to do in the spring and in the summer here. We had some nice scrimmages against some Duneland schools, and I was like, you look at who's going to compete. Are they going to shy away from contact? Are they going to be aggressive? And that's the things you look for in the summer. And I'm pleased with the way that we played and our aggression and our toughness. So, they did a great job in the weight room. They continue to do a great job in the weight room. We're really happy with where we're at, I think.
Very good.
Yeah, how are the numbers throughout the program, not only with the varsity, but working back to the lower levels? I'm sure you're deeply involved in every level of the football program.
You look at our numbers. The senior class is small this year. This is the smallest senior class that I've had. It's only 15. So that's kind of surprising, and just kind of look back and see where our drop-off was, and it was kids that moved or kids that just don't want to play anymore. But our junior class is big, and our sophomore class is healthy. We have about 35 or 36 freshmen, and then our middle school teams we have good numbers.
Good. I mean, winning breeds success. Success brings in more people want to be part of the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. One thing we haven't really talked about it much is I think we're still in a way recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
There was kids that like this is the couch. I like the couch. Yep. I'm okay. I don't want to go to practice. I think there's still a class or two, not just everywhere.
Yeah, it seems like it. That
you have to
class.
Get them back off the couch, and this is the weight room, guys.
And that's the thing is just trying to get them back disciplined to a routine, a regiment, and just because there wasn't a whole lot of discipline, and even for someone like myself, as when you're working from home. You're not as disciplined as I think you would be if you're in the office and you got
the
somebody
kitchen's
that's
right
looking
there.
over you.
The Cheetos are right there.
Exactly. So even getting myself back into the swing of things
you.
and trying to get a 15, 16-year-old kid to buy back in,
it's not easy.
It's been a process.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just mentioned the sophomore quarterback. Mention some names of who you're going to really rely on this upcoming season.
Well, I think that if you look at Noah and Trey, Noah Ehrlich as our quarterback and Trey Gibson in the backfield, they had great years last year. We have a couple linemen coming back. Diego Verduzco is going to be our left tackle. Isaiah Wilson will be a 3-year starter for us at guard.
Nice.
Aiden Alage played some defense last year. He'll be a 2-way starter for us at center and nose guard. You look at wide receiver wise, we have a great group of young guys at wide receiver that have been really competing and doing some nice things in the summer and spring. You have Zach Bloom, Isaac Gordon, Will Shear, Cale Slosher, Connor Stafford. There's a handful of guys there that are competing, and obviously Cody Johnson. Cody came off from a fantastic spring in track in a state championship, and he showed up August 1st, and he's like, Coach, I'm not going to be here very much because I got to go to nationals and I got Junior Olympics, and I'm like, just I'm just happy you're back and getting a helmet. Come back on August 1st and play wide receiver and cornerback for us. And, but I mean, he very easily, he's one of the top pole vaulters in the nation, could have said, hey, I'm going to focus on pole vault, and he didn't, and that shows, kind of how tight our senior class is. They really enjoy playing with each other. But our defensive backfield right now is pretty strong with Colton Charles as a returner. Nathan Queer is going to be back there, but we also have our young guys, our groups 1 and 2 in our defensive backfield. They're pretty neck and neck right now, so you don't have a huge drop off there. That's the one place that we have a lot of depth is our skill.
Always good.
Now on the line, we don't have a ton of depth. We have some young guys that are going to be playing their first varsity football. Jake Sparks is competing. Luke Juris is a sophomore. Matthew Popenhagen. We got some guys out there. Maurice MacArthur Jr. is a sophomore that hasn't played a whole lot of football, but he's a big kid. He's 6'3", 6'4", 295 pounds. That's learning the game. Jackson Ray's another big lineman that we have, so we just got to get them reps, and we got to find the right cohesive group of those 5 guys that are going to play together, give Noah and Trey an opportunity to do what they could do.
We covered you a few times. Sorry.
I was going to say, but wanted to mention something about the staff.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but we just love watching you play. Yeah, I love watching Hobart play, and it leads to my question. Your assistant coaches, you got some lifers there.
Yeah.
You got a good mix. You got some younger guys. Yep. You got some guys that have been doing it forever, that bleed purple and gold, and talk about your assistant coaches.
So, I mean, you look at our assistant coaches, and, Coach Kerr's around all the time, so he's still there. Don Rogers is there. My father-in-law, Steve Ballish, just passed away this past February. He was, just finished his 50th year of coaching.
Wow. Yeah.
And then unfortunately passed away. So we have the lifers there. You look at Sean Zolads has been there with me since I've been there. Brought in Terrence Turner, who was a fantastic player at IU and was out east for a while and did some college coaching, came back and is coaching with us. And then Steve McIntyre, Dave Tipple, those are Hobart guys. And then this year we brought in Eric Schreiber. I was able to get him hired at Hobart, and he's our defensive coordinator this year, and brought his ex-defensive coordinator from Westside, Adam Harmon, in to be our linebackers coach. So we have a lot of coaches. Most of our guys are Hobart guys. Rob Skudovic's a guy, Doug Bloom. So they're all Hobart names. Most of them are Hobart names that know what it is to be, know what a Bricky pride is.
Sure, they've been through the battles.
Yeah.
That you can't. That's something you can't emulate.
No,
you know what I mean. You can't. Yeah. Those guys have been there and they care.
And that's a big thing too. When you get a bunch of coaches together that that know football, there's no egos. I mean, it's all the same. Hey, the same goal. We're here for the kids, and it's everybody's has opinions, and everybody's opinions are heard, and we work together, and it's a family atmosphere. And I literally just had everyone at my house last Saturday, and all our kids, there's 20 kids running around, and we get together and we have a good time, and we enjoy. Our wives enjoy each other, and our kids have fun together. So it is a true family atmosphere.
Was that the goodbye party for the coaching staff to the wives?
We'll
see you.
I'll see you on Thanksgiving.
That's what I do. I always
we'll see you at Thanksgiving, right? That's what you want to say.
That's the goal. So I make sure I rent the pool out for the wives and kids while we're taking pictures, and we come and join them, and then we feed everybody at our house, and then just have a good time. So, but yeah, you got to do that for their families. So,
can you give me a couple names of some guys that you didn't think were going to be a starter, or somebody that's just come out of the woodwork that really surprised you?
Well, I think that you look at that sophomore class. A name that pops off right at the top is Will Shear. He's going to be play some running back for us. He's also going to be play defense and wide receiver for us. Kel Schloss is a kid that's a sophomore that's really coming on strong. I mentioned some of the linemen. Luke Juris is having a good camp. Jake Sparks is having a good camp. Maurice MacArthur Jr. is having a good camp. So there's some guys here that probably. If we had a bigger senior class, probably wouldn't be playing or competing for a position. But they've stepped into the roles, and they're learning the system, and we're not missing a beat with them.
That's right. Are you going to have the wake-up call those first couple games?
Oh, absolutely. I keep telling them, practice is practice, and then you have some summer scrimmages, but there's nothing that can compare to that Friday Night Lights the first time.
That's right.
I told the seniors that you got to be out there for them because they're going to be wide-eyed and they're going to be nervous. And I said, just remember the first time you stepped on the field on Friday night, and we're going to have a lot of guys with that same feeling, so you got to be there for them.
Doug, any final thoughts for you?
Not really. I'm just excited to see Ehrlich's development. Watching him last year, he didn't play like a freshman. He just carried himself differently. You know, he was just a big, strong kid, and he was always in control. You know, he made freshman mistakes. That's going to happen, but man, he's going to be fun to watch.
He'll make some sophomore mistakes, and I think the best thing about Noah is he's got a level head.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a lot going on in recruiting right now. He's got an offer from Miami of Ohio, but you know, I think that the big thing through it right now is like he's focused on high school, and he's level-headed, and he's not letting anything get to his head. And you know, he's one thing I did ask him to do. Hey, you're a sophomore, but you're the quarterback, so you got to be a leader. So he's doing a good job leading. He's taking those next steps, but you know, he still does some sophomore things, but you know, he's growing, and he's going to be a phenomenal player for us.
It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season, great Hobart season. Coach, glad you could be with us, Craig Osika. Thanks a lot. Yep. And you are watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be right back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful downtown Griffith, 135 North Broad Street. Joined here still with Greg and help me navigate through this evening. And there we go. And we got head coach Jason Gendris, just hired a couple weeks ago, so you're hot off the press here on our sheet.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Coach.
It's been a whirlwind for sure.
Move that just a little bit closer. There you go. Boom. There you go. So what were you saying? It's been a whirlwind?
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. We Wasn't quite on my bingo card this summer to be in this position at this point, but excited nonetheless. It's awesome.
I love the bingo card. We haven't had anybody throw that one out yet.
No.
I love it.
You got the bingo card on the bingo card, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Whiting's traditionally a football town, and it's like region football is good when Whiting is good. You know what I mean? That's how I'm a Portage guy, but just when Whiting's good, it's one of those schools you kind of root for, you know.
Yeah, we always get such great buy-in from the community and so much support on the lakefront, which is great. So, yeah, I can't say enough good things.
Yeah. My first game out there I did with Brian Jennings. You know the name. So we're out there doing a game, and it's a critical situation. And all of a sudden, the other team, it's 4th down and 1. The train horns go off. The opposing team jumps off sides. First time. You guys call that in from the trains or what?
we place bets sometimes how many trains we're going to come through there in the middle of the game. I think one time we were up to like 24 or 27.
Some people love it, some people hate it.
Exactly. We obviously it's kind of gives us home field. We love it.
Yeah, right.
Coach, being in there, you've been in the system a couple years. Tell us what are your takeaways from last year to this year?
All summer I've just been kind of preaching consistency, keeping your eyes on the target, which is, game one. Obviously with the kids have not had an easy time.
Right.
But I've just been preaching to them, stay on course, do what you've been doing all summer long, really for like our seniors the last 4 years. Keep your eyes on the target, keep working and get to where, you guys set goals all those years ago that you wanted to get to a certain spot. Now it's your team. It's your time to take advantage and make that happen.
Yeah, it's exciting. Again, it's a time for growth. I'm going to say this as you know, and if you're in the area, that there's kind of some stuff going on in Whiting with schools and stuff. But the football team can be something you guys that the town can build around.
Yes.
So like I said, I'm really rooting for you to have a good year, and that brings the community together, the school corporation together, and say, hey, let's cut all this other stuff and let's just do it for the kids and work.
And that's exactly been like our preaching point is,
right.
Friday nights, hopefully, all of that other stuff gets tossed to the side.
Right.
And once the lights goes on, we can have a little fun.
We're all green and white, and
Absolutely.
we're all in the same team. Yeah, I agree.
And so what are the numbers like from varsity through the program?
We're actually up a little bit, so
nice.
We've got 47 reporting right now, and I know as kind of school starts this week, we usually get a few more that trickle in. So we've got 47 overall. We've had 15-ish for our middle school all summer, and so we're moving along pretty well. I'm pretty excited about that.
And that's a good number, and Doug and me have been sitting here all night, and it's a nice thing seeing not only your program, but everybody that stepped up to this table has talked about how the numbers are starting to go in an upswing.
Yeah.
Even Munster's been down a little bit, Highland's been down. Those numbers are even starting to come back up. The traditional programs, Hobart and those guys stay good. It's great to see football coming back.
100%.
And I agree. And I think what we talked about before also is I think we're kind of we're still dragging on to COVID. We're still in a way recovering from the laziness of COVID, and people really like the couch. It got comfortable. And I'm guilty of that.
Guilty.
So I think those numbers are going to continue to come up as that progresses.
Well, and I think part of it too is the kids are starting to come back now and realize how important it is to be with friends and to be out there and to get that camaraderie back that they've been missing for the last 18 months or 2 years.
Well, I mean, looking at your class coming back, who are you going to be leaning on this upcoming fall in the next couple weeks here?
Definitely our seniors. We have an amazing senior class that I've bragged about all the last 3 weeks. Jeremiah Allard, Julius Torres, Joe Gendrius, Aiden Durindon, the guys that were here tonight.
Right.
And then on top of that, Nick Davenport, our quarterback, has done just a phenomenal job of navigating all this stuff. So just like I have the last 3 weeks, I'm going to continue to kind of lean on those guys. Luke Zorich, Nolan Toth, those guys have been just phenomenal.
Well, I see Nick Davenport 1,300 yards last season. That's nice.
Yeah, he's
especially coming back. hopefully, I'm sure he has progressed a little bit, been able to make quicker reads and things like that. And
he's gotten bigger, he's gotten faster. Chris Davenport did a phenomenal job with all of our kids in the weight room and speed training and all that, and it shows in all of our athletes right now.
You talked about it just a little bit there, about a couple of them, but talk to me about your assistant coaches. Brag on those guys. Let's hear about those names. Those are names we don't hear all the time.
Yeah, so, obviously with the last 3 weeks kind of putting everything together, I brought up Paul Vale, who was an assistant with our middle school for the last 6 or 7 years. He came up. He's going to do our special teams. We've got a new guy from in town, Anthony Bell. He played running back for Robert Morris for 4 years. He's going to take over our offensive calls. We have a former student that's Julian Sanchez. He played with us in 2012, 2013. He's going to take over our JV. And then we've got a coach that just joined us from Oswego East. His name's Connor Downs. He's going to take over the defensive calls for us. And those guys have done just trying to catch up. Again, trying to catch up and get everybody going has been a challenge. But those guys have been working their tails off. And I'm excited to see, let them coach and put this all together now.
Yeah, good assistants make us look smart, right?
Yes.
let them take it, let them go, and they need recognition every once in a while.
Yes,
right?
they do. Yes, they do. They're the unsung heroes
for sure.
For sure.
Can you name a few guys that have excelled out of, you didn't think they were going to start, or maybe they were on borderline, but now all of a sudden through camp, through weight room, through training, all of a sudden have come out of nowhere and just sort of surprised you?
For sure, we have a couple our couple of our juniors, Jason Nugent, Bo Harbin. They kind of came on at the end of last year, and they're continuing to make strides this summer.
That's awesome.
Servando Garza and Emmanuel Macias on our O line and D line have done really well. Gabe Eggers is another one. He's kind of filled in on our O line and earned himself a spot. Yeah. Then we got some really cool guys coming up too. Two kids that their first year playing, Demetrio Lopez and Sean Donaldson. Sean played basketball for us over the summer, and the boys kind of convinced him to come out for football.
Cool.
And he's a heck of an athlete. He's going to do some good things.
Yeah, you always like those guys that basketball. Especially for the skilled positions. Right?
Yeah.
And you need the wrestlers for the offensive line, right?
Yes. And we have that. We got some big boys up there that they've put in the work this summer and wrestle. We got a couple of wrestlers, so yeah.
At a smaller school, we've been talking to some bigger schools. You guys love sharing athletes, don't you?
Yes.
Across the board in the school?
Yeah, we've always preached, going all the way back to Coach Kane, playing as many sports as you guys can. The more they play, the better athletes you just become naturally by competing, and no matter what it is. So yeah, we always encourage that, and it's fun to go out then when you're out of season, go see those same kids playing and excelling and doing other things.
Yeah, it's the same again as one of those towns, especially with Whiting. These are the guys you run the streets with, man. These are your buddies. Yep. So I want to be with them. I want to go. We'll figure out how to play football or run track. Just be athletes, have fun.
Yeah,
so.
And that's the cool thing of watching these seniors really pull in all the younger guys and help them buy in and teach them and keep them on track. So
that's great. That's exciting.
Any final thoughts, Coach, before we let you go?
I'm excired. We're ready to get going at it.
But you can hear the noise in the background. This place is excited about football, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got a little fallish type weather now with the gloomy rain. And
finally.
It looks get rid of this humidity.
I am so not a heat guy. I am so, I walked out on the field, it was raining today, and I just was like, this is what I'm talking about.
Get rid of this humidity.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot. That's Jason Gendris, head coach from Whiting. Doug's going to return with me. Okay, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks, man.
Good luck to you. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area?
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in Griffith. Beautiful downtown Griffith, 135 North Broad Street. We are joined, Doug is here along the ride for the night, and now we have Coach Cody French from Calumet. Welcome to the program, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Beautiful facilities, a lot of excitement there on Ridge Road, and how are things looking this year?
Yeah, it's been a good summer so far. Really good numbers. We have 60, 65 guys showing up. We actually ran out of helmets, which has been an issue. But
wow. You're the second coach that has mentioned that.
We got some today. So,
that's nice.
But yeah, no, numbers have been good. Kids are showing up consistently, working hard. So off to a good start.
Exciting.
Yeah, Coach, so what do you take away from last season to this season?
A lot of ups and downs last season.
Right.
We had a good start. Kind of fell off towards the end of the year, so we're trying to make sure we're ready to sustain that and a position to keep that going. Just got to stay consistent, make sure we're getting better throughout the year. We kind of peaked a little too early last year, so.
How are the numbers through the program?
Yeah, good. Like I said, we got about 60, 65 guys.
Oh, wow.
We don't separate varsity and JV or freshmen. We're all together the whole year, so. But no, it's good. Good to have those numbers. We're in a good spot, especially at a 3A school to have 60, 65. So
that is good.
Yeah. And how was the off season? A lot of buy-in. A lot of how was did you have good summers and 7-on-7 stuff? What do you think?
Yeah, the buy-in's been great. Started obviously with weights in the winter, and we had a full spring season with the practices we were allowed to have, and had great attendance for those.
Good.
And summer's been good. We used all of our days and had all of our competition days. Been all over the state trying to find good competition that's similar to the teams we need to beat to accomplish our goals, so it's been good.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at your schedule. It's pretty tough week in, week out.
Yep.
You got a bunch of road games.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's.
Oh, I just looked at it. Yeah. Yes,
my
you do.
Goodness.
That Whiting one is flipped.
Get some frequent,
it has
flyers.
Switched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have to circle that one.
Yeah.
Good thing gas prices are going down.
Yeah, right. Yeah, nice to not have to drive.
So, Coach, who are you guys going to be leaning on this upcoming fall?
Yeah, we got a lot of returning production offensively. Our running back, Anthony Ponce, is back. I think he was in the 800-yard area last year, 600-yard area. We'll lean on him heavily. We have TJ Caldwell on offense. Some new guys, Amarion, Chandler Terrell, Trent Lococo will be guys we lean on in the passing game. Defensively, we have David Flores, all-region player last year, preseason All-State, over 100 tackles, and Alex Ponce as well. I really like our linebacker group. We have all 3 starters back from last season at that spot. So,
well, that makes up the defense right there. Yeah. You get those guys flying around. Yeah. Could be a great season for Calumet defensively, right?
Yep, that's the plan.
Well, talk about your assistant coaches real quick, Coach. Those guys are.
Yeah,
they work their tails off.
Yeah, same staff as last year. One addition, Coach Snow is helping with the quarterbacks and the passing game, but our assistants work hard. They show up consistently. We're lucky to have 2 other guys in the school building. They're anytime we ask them to be there, they're there. We share a lot offensively, really work together. Kind of 3 guys have a big say in calling the plays. Defensively, I was a D coordinator coming over, and the first hire I ended up making was a D coordinator, and so I could call the offense. And Coach Tyler Milby has been doing a great job with our defense. And we had 3-4 shutouts last year. He's got those guys playing at a high level right now too. So,
hey, Coach, can you name somebody that's come out of the woodwork and has sort of come out, where you didn't think this person was going to be a starter, or you thought he might be a second teamer, now all of a sudden he's a starter, or a couple guys that you got like that?
Yeah, we have Alex Torres is going to be our center this year. Played some JV last year, was a second or third string guy, really attacked the off season, earned a spot, and he's going to be our starting center, and we're really excited about him. So he kind of stands out as everything you just mentioned, a kid who kind of came out of nowhere and has worked really hard and earned that job.
Yeah, paid the price over the offseason with the training program.
Yep.
What are some goals you had this year? Like you said, you got off to a good start last year and kind of had run into some rough water there toward the end. What are some goals this year?
Yeah, we want to sustain that. Like 6-1 was a great start. Sustain that through the end of our conference schedule when the weather starts to change. We're a spread, speed and space offense. We got to be able to handle when it gets a little cold out and the ball's harder to grip. The hits hurt a little more.
Slushy and icy, and it's not real fun to be out there.
So we got to be ready to lean on our offensive line in those games and take shots when needed. But we just want to be built to last the whole season.
Yeah, very good.
Thanks a lot, Coach, for coming out. Cody French, Doug Nelson, thanks a lot, Coach, for coming out.
No, thank you, and we hope you have a good year.
Yeah, good luck this season. Okay. And you're watching Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in Griffith, located 135 North Broad Street. We are joined still with Doug Nelson, my co-pilot throughout this evening, and then we have the head coach from Chesterton Trojans, Mark Peterson. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Always glad to be here.
It's like we've talked about, Coach. I've known you a long time, and
yeah, for sure.
Class act, no question, the class act, and I observe you from afar, whether you know it or not. I do. So,
well, I appreciate that.
Thank
you.
He's looking over your back like
trying to learn. Trying to learn from this guy.
Right.
Shadow, huh?
Yeah, that's a long time we've known and
I'm telling you,
so that's for sure.
For sure.
All right, Coach. Well, tell us, what was your takeaway from last season, bringing into this season?
Yeah, really went through the season with a couple of injuries. We missed out on having a couple of our key seniors play in the offensive backfield for us. Ethan Pickering missed out, had some back injuries, and also Kobe Bullock missed out on the season. Two really high caliber players. We had Chris Mullen, is a class act in the region as a quarterback, and probably one of the best quarterbacks we've had come through our system, period, throughout the entirety of the program. We graduated Chris, and those other guys have moved on. We've got a great nucleus of other kids stepping up this year, and the season didn't end the way we wanted it to last year. We were fighting for a sectional championship with Penn, and it was one of those situations where we just missed out on some things down the stretch, and the renewed focus this year is really always going to be that same thing. We're fighting for a conference championship, and that's a great goal and objective. But at the same time, we're striving for that sectional championship, and it's a good nucleus of kids coming back.
So, speaking about the kids, what are the numbers like throughout the program?
Yeah, real excited. We're right around 90 kids in the varsity, junior varsity group. We fluctuate, and there will be a couple of ebb and flows here where some kids may leave us as the season progresses. Where we have them move along.
Awesome.
But at the same time, we're right at 42 on our freshman squad.
That's a good number for a freshman group.
Yeah, it's a good nucleus of kids. We have probably 5 or 6 kids that played in the Pop Warner program last year, older lighters, and then around 30 or 35 of those kids move up from the middle school program. So, again, a good nucleus for us to build on over the next couple of years.
Good. Well, to go along with those numbers, Coach, tell me about your offseason. Was it good buy-in for your numbers? And did you have a good summer, some 7-on-7, some camps? What did you guys do?
Yeah, our offseason really was really accentuated. We hired Matt Wagner, a fellow that came in as our strength and conditioning coordinator, what was now just a year and a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. And, boy, that was just a huge difference maker for us in the classroom, but also in the after-school workouts. We always feel like we're doing good things, in terms of trying to put them in a position to be successful. But when you got a guy that's his specialty and can really focus on really improving the kids on a day-by-day basis, it always accentuates it. And he's done a great job with us in that regard. So this offseason was a good time for us to be able to get some new guys, a lot of reps. Defensively, we graduated 9 starters last year.
Wow.
Kind of scared. Oh my gosh, kind of scared the heck out of me. I don't think I've ever been part of a program where you graduated so many kids, and so.
Well, tell us some of the names of the guys that are going to be starting on the defense.
Yeah, you bet. We have so Keegan Wrigley's back for us. He was a full-time starter. Ethan Troy is another guy that started both ways, played a little bit both ways last year. got hampered by the injury bug a little bit too, but just doing a really fantastic job. Zach Corsell stepping up at the secondary to filling in one of our safety positions. And then we have a couple other kids, Cole Gonzalez stepping in at linebacker, Connor Catzafera stepping in at the defensive line. And so a couple of those kids are seniors, but a couple of those kids are underclassmen. So kind of exciting. They're excited. They're fired up and ready for first game.
How about offensively? Who's going to be your go-to guys this upcoming fall?
Yeah, we actually graduated 3 full-time starters and 4 full-time players for us on the offense. Tough shoes to fill for Mullen. Can't fill them, but we have a couple of really good kids that are competing right now for that position. And Sebastian Boswell at junior saw time in the Merrillville game when Chris got injured. And then Brady McCormick, a sophomore, was our full-time starter for us in the on the freshman squad last year. Both bring some really positive things to the table, and now it's just a matter of us being able to delineate and figure out which one of those are the better positives and who can help us win football games the best. So it's a good race and a couple of really high-caliber, good-quality kids.
That's an important part.
Yeah. Yep.
You've got again, when you're at a bigger school like this and you're dropping down to 5A a little bit, that's a little different world. It's still good. God dang, I mean, it's nothing easy. But with your guys and developing guys, it comes down to your staff. Can you talk about your assistants a little bit?
Yeah, really. I've always felt like we've had some really quality individuals. Dan McCoy, longtime assistant for us, our defense coordinator, came to me a year and a half or so ago, now 2 years ago, and said, I think it's time. I'm just going to retire from coaching. And sure enough, he was at every game on Friday nights last year. Got some free time, so that helped, get away from it a little bit in the fall and spend some time with family. And they're empty nesters now, so he and his wife traveled a little bit, but he still came to all the games. So he's still involved. But then we had John Snyder rejoin us on the staff. Former head coach at Chesterton, great long, 35-year friend of mine.
Yeah, I coached
makes us sound old.
Oh, really?
When I coached with John at Valparaiso University a couple years ago.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. Yep, did a great job over there, and then came back into the high school system with us, doing a great job. So when Dan stepped down, he moved over and became our defensive coordinator. Just this last year, very fortunate to have Wally McCormick come over and become part of our program. He was actually our freshman coach last year and has moved up. I've named him our offensive coordinator this year. So
awesome.
He's taken on a new role and doing a great job. Nick Bamber played for me at Valparaiso University, and Kenny Floyd, our linebackers guy, and Colton Tazinski, former player of ours from Chesterton. Got several of those former players that keep coming back and participate in helping coach during the summer, but also in preparation for each season. So David Sharp, one of those guys. Luca Leisure's our offensive line coach, and just a really fantastic group that we have right now. So, you have sometimes when you have really high quality players, you got to have some high quality coaches to keep them, point them in the right direction. I think we have a great group right now.
And more importantly, coach, and I've said this, and I'm not. They're good men.
Yes,
it's class.
Yeah,
Chesterton has always been class, and then. That's about you.
Yeah.
And I want you to know that you've done a great job.
I appreciate that. It's always fun to compete, but we're trying to build bigger things here too, and keep a perspective of that. It's an important thing,
For sure,
especially in days of COVID and all the crazy stuff that's going on in education.
Kind of opened your eyes a little bit.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. So no question.
Well, Coach, we're running out of time here. Thanks, Coach Mark Peterson. Doug's going to be back with me after the station break. Good luck this season.
Good luck to you, buddy.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks, guys, for having us on.
All right. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout. Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like health care and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like health care and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful, historic downtown Griffith at 135 North Broad Street. We're joined by head coach Rick Good. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem.
Coach, so Mike Jamia here.
Mike,
hey,
you know what? I almost called you Nelson. Doug Nelson. Doug's been with me so long. I looked over and I'm like, wait a minute, Doug's not over there.
Yeah, no, it's all hands on deck here at Set 'em Up Lanes for the Pigskin Party here. So, Coach, talk a little bit about some of the new additions to the staff and kind of what the dynamic has been like and how things have gelled, and what are some of the goals for you as a staff, and then how, is that going to be a byproduct to what happens on the field?
Yeah, we've got a new offensive coordinator this year. Jimmy McCormick came from being the defensive coordinator over at Hobart last year. He's been an offensive guy. He's a Morton grad, so it's his first time calling plays, and he's going to do that for us this year. So it's been a different look on the offensive side for us. Same kind of cast of characters running the ball and moving it around, but he's going to put his flavor on it, and we're pretty excited to see what he's got. And we ended up meeting back up with a coach that coached with us at Calumet for the last few years, Spencer Lemon. So he's back with us. So it's a lot of familiar faces, but we're kind of just getting together now and figuring it out. But we're going to be a little bit different this year on offense, and hopefully the same on defense. And those are our two kind of big additions. So we're excited to have both of them.
Yeah, what are the numbers like? I know, a lot of coaches have talked so far today about how the numbers are going up, and I just want to get add you into the crew and I hope that the numbers are going up at Lake Central.
Yeah, we're doing a good job as far as numbers go. We've got 83 on the roster right now. We were at about 65 last year. Had some attrition as the year went on, but right now we feel pretty good about having 80 or 85 on the varsity level.
That's awesome.
And then we've got 50 to 55 freshmen out. So
wow.
We're hopefully going to find some diamonds in the rough down there, and have a few more rolls of the dice when it comes to guys that can play on Friday nights.
Now, how did the conditioning and camp go throughout the summer?
It went really well. We were down at Manchester for their 3-day camp, which we've done that 2 years in a row now, and I don't plan on going anywhere else. They treat us well. You get a lot of work in against some different schools around the state, and they let you go off on your own and do some practicing. And other than the dorm food and lack of mattress, things are great.
I love that. So who's some of the starters that you're going to be leaning on this year? Now, when I say lean on, not only for statistically, but also like leaders in the locker room, leaders on the field, those type of guys. So you're going to be leaning on both, for numbers, but also for emotional support from the players.
Yeah, our offensive line has really done a good job. We've got 3 seniors up front. Peyton Chad's a returning starter at center. We've got Tommy Tinsley, who's going to play some tackle for us, and Adam Trinkle is also a returner. So those guys are kind of our emotional leaders. When things get a little feisty in practice, those are the guys you got to watch out for. But we've got both of our top running backs back as far as statistically speaking goes,
right,
and our top receivers back. Xavier Williams is going to lead our backfield along with Amarion Brooks. Those two guys were our kind of our 1-2 punch last year, and we're looking for them to kind of pick up where they left off. And they both had great off seasons. They both put on some good weight and got faster. So we're hoping that they're going to do the same thing they did and just kind of be good juniors. And on the edge, we've got James Graham as our top returning receiver, and he's done a good job. So we're excited to have him. We'll have a pretty good quarterback back there. We've got a couple of them. Johnny Sorensen will be a first-year starter. And Chase Kwiatkowski is a sophomore, and he's done a lot of great things. And he's going to fill in for us real well on Friday nights. They'll both get a lot of action. So we like our offense a lot.
So you got that sophomore nipping on the upperclassmen's heels a little bit there?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The competition, helps them both, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Coach, you talk about, you're now having a program where you're at this point in the season you're at least like 20 guys or 22 guys more than where you were last year, because you said you're up to like 85 guys and then you have 55 freshmen. How has it been seeing that kind of group come together? I mean, you have a larger group here, and do you find yourself noticing guys taking positions of leadership that perhaps didn't last year, and they're kind of rising to the occasion? They see, hey, look, we got 55 freshmen here. Yeah, a year ago I was a sophomore, but I'm a junior now, and they're really taking on some leadership qualities. Has anyone kind of surprised you or has came out and really done a great job of that?
Yeah, there's a linebacker. He's a junior. His name's Jeffrey Lucas. Jeffrey's done a really nice job. He had an injury late last year, so his season ended a little bit earlier than I think we all would have wanted, but he saw these young guys coming up, and all of our starters, all of our older guys are doing a really good job kind of folding in the young guys. It's really no division. We have of those 85, 45 of them are sophomores, so we need those guys to be leaders and take their position seriously and kind of build units. With 85, it's tough to have any 85 guys on the same page for anything. But
true.
Those 6 or 8 position players, we've got some good leaders in each one of those spots, and some of these guys are really kind of teaching them what we've kind of wanted them to to kind of take ownership of, and as far as the culture goes.
That's outstanding.
Hey, Coach, last question for you. What are your goals for the season?
I think anytime you're not at the top of a conference or the top of a sectional, your goal needs to be to get better.
Right.
We were 3-7 last year, like we alluded to, and we started out hot and finished off a little bit slower than we would have wanted to. But the Duneland in and of itself is a tough conference to be a part of.
I'm looking at your schedule. I don't see a week off. You got a brutal one.
It's tough, and that was apparent last year. You get into the Duneland and you don't get the chance to lick your wounds. But with those extra numbers and having a good off season in the weight room, we're hoping that we're a little more battle tested for this year. So we're excited to get started, and we've got some rivalries early, and got a couple new teams or really one team on the schedule that's new. So we've got some excitement and got some familiar faces, which is always good.
Yeah, it is. Well, Coach, thanks a lot. That's Coach Rick Good. We appreciate you being here,
thanks
Coach.
for having me.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
And Mike's going to be along with me for a little bit longer. Doug's taking a break. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Set 'em Up Lanes, the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. Nathan Laird and Mike Jamia, now joined by Dan Kukulski, head coach of the Boone Grove Wolves. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Coach, the 2021 season, a growing year for your team. A lot of youngsters got playing time under those Friday night lights. In fact, only looking at the roster on Max Preps, 3 seniors on the roster, so those underclassmen had some growing pains last year, but that's got to have to pay dividends here in 2022.
You know, this growing pains is putting it mildly. It was definitely an interesting year for us. We knew it going in what we were going to have to do. And the kids, by the end of the season, really started to buy in. We've got a lot of good talent returning now, and they're a year older, a little bigger, a little faster, a little stronger. They've been in the weight room since January and working real hard. So it's definitely in a positive way.
And it's that mental strength that comes with that experience. When they hit the field in week number 1, a lot of those guys who last year were probably intimidated playing the varsity football say, all right, I've done this before. And like you said, they came on last season. You won 2 of your final 4 down the stretch. So you saw that growth at the end of last season. That's only going to be evident, I think, even more so this year.
Right. It is. I mean, you go into the season, you're telling a kid that played 8th grade football that potentially he's going to end up getting a lot of playing time at the varsity level. And the fear in their eyes is true. I mean, it really is there. But once they understand what they need to do and how to do it safely, they really bought in, and then they just fed off of that on their own to try and get better and bigger and faster, and a lot of them have done that for us.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned how they fed off of that. Can you speak a little bit about how the culture is amongst the players after the season that they had went through? Like you mentioned, you said growing pains, to put it lightly. It was a very difficult year. You knew that going into it, and then kind of as Nathan alluded to, you finished the year off pretty strong, you know. But what are some things that you've been able to identify that your players do well amongst themselves that kind of breeds a winning culture?
We were able to identify our leaders, getting our leaders in place, the ones that push each other. The group of kids that's in there now, they really don't need us when it comes to the strength and conditioning. We guide them. They understand. By playing and having that game time experience, you can't do that at practice. No matter how hard you try, especially at the 2A, 3A level. It's just hard to do. So these kids knew what it's going to take, and us telling them, we didn't really have to say too much. They bought into it. They understood. They remember. We have signs all over our weight room of the scores of the games that we had lost and where we were at. It was less than 365 days ago that these kids were struggling through it. They know what they want to do. They know they have their goals ahead of them, and they're going to do everything they possibly can to reach those.
You know, looking over a list of key returning players, I was looking over last year's stats and everything. One thing that really jumped out to me, Nick Ratkovich, as a freshman last year, 13 sacks. I refreshed the browser to make sure and cleaned my glasses. I had to make sure that number was right. What can you say about it? I mean, that's an impressive number even for a senior.
Nick is a very special individual. He's very big for his age. Right now he's right around 200 pounds, and he's fast and he's driven. He really wants to work hard. Ryan Seidel, our defensive coordinator, his nephew is Jaden Marsh from Andrean, and Nick plays the same position. So we've kind of had them talk to each other, and it's worked out real well for Nick, getting some insight from Jaden, who played defensive end, and Nick's our defensive end. And they lift together, they talk, and it's great to see having that for Nick. Nick wrestled. He's got the hand fighting ability.
You gotta love that. You gotta love that with the lineman.
He's quick off the line, and he is very difficult to stop. So it's going to be fun to watch Nick play. And he's only a sophomore. You look at him, and he's like, it's unbelievable.
It's one of those kids like,
right.
You got to be a senior, no? Just a sophomore.
We've got a couple of kids like that. Him and Khalid Elzir.
Yeah, 72 tackles, 14 for a loss last season.
As a freshman.
Boy.
He's another 200-pound plus kid. He's got a full beard as a sophomore. I don't know what he eats, but yeah, he kind of does.
Or better than yours, Nathan.
Hey.
But he's
looking good.
I mean, he's driven as well. Those two guys, I mean, they're kind of the leaders of the defense. Khalid plays Mike linebacker for us, so he runs the second phase. And Nick, everybody feeds off of Nick. And the way Nick goes, he just goes 110 miles an hour, and he's going to be tough to stop.
So speaking of that, Coach, like you talk about that you have these players that are, seem to be blossoming, especially in Nick Ratkovich and Khalid Elzir. As a coaching staff, what has it been like to come together and then be able to kind of take in everything that you're seeing unfold at practice on a daily basis, and then things beyond practice, like you mentioned, like the communications with other players at different programs and getting better in multitude of ways? How does that impact kind of what you do as coaches in setting goals for this season? How is this season that much different than last year? I mean, I know everyone's a year older, but what are some other things that kind of gets into that decision-making process?
Our offensive coordinator, Seth Miller, Coach Miller, he was hired by the school last year. He was in the building. He was our strength and conditioning coach on the offseason as well. This young man came in, and he has set what he calls the process. Recognizing that a lot of these kids are young, we only have 5 seniors this year. The rest of them are juniors and sophomores. He has taken these kids over the last couple of years, and they're buying in on the process, knowing that it's going to take them a little while. Nobody's going to go out there and win the conference championship or win a sectional as sophomores. It's just not going to happen. But they're going to get to that point. They really are.
Where are you guys at numbers-wise on your roster?
Numbers are up. Numbers are good, not only at the varsity level but also at the middle school.
That's awesome.
Which is nice. So our program is growing. We'd like to try and get some of the Pop Warner things started up again. That kind of fell away for a while. So we're 3A now, and we understand that we have to grow from the bottom up. So that's what we're concentrating on.
Get that feeder system
exactly.
going, and get those kids excited to be Boone Grove Wolves, and that's where it starts at. You get them playing the Pop Warner growing up. They want to play for you and be a Boone Grove Wolf, and that's just adds to success in the varsity level.
That's what we've been working on. So.
Awesome, Coach. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Hope you guys had some good food here at Set 'em Up.
This is a great thing you guys are doing. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. And I know you weren't able to make it out last year. You had an awesome event yourself last year.
Yeah, my son got promoted in the fire department, so I had to be there for him.
Out of all the reasons I've heard for a coach that they can't make it, that's the best one I've gotten. So that's one I couldn't try to even sway you on coming. Someone's like, really? You can move that around. That's a great one. So I'm glad the schedule was clear for you to make it out this year.
It was very nice.
Like I said to you earlier, I emailed you probably 300 times over the course of your career at Boone Grove and mine doing this, so it's nice to meet you in person finally.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Dan Kukulski, head coach of the Boone Grove Wolves. We're going to take a timeout. Up next, Brian Parker of Hanover Central going to be our guest. Stay with us here on the RSN Preseason Pigskin Party here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Back here at the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, Nathan Laird, Mike Jamia, now joined by Brian Parker, head coach of the Hanover Central Wildcats. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So it's a big year for Hanover Central. Final year in the Greater South Shore Conference. From a mental standpoint, do the guys want to go out, on a big note there?
Before we get started, though, Nathan, I got to give a shout-out. Today is my wife's birthday.
There you go. And we've kept you late, so Mrs. Parker, that's on me. Don't be mad at him. That's on me.
I just want to say happy birthday to my beautiful, loving wife. She's a phenomenal football wife, and just putting that out there. Love you, babe.
If you get in trouble, give her mine. You have my cell phone number.
I got it.
You can send it to her, and she can text me. And
for sure.
Be mad at me, not him. So.
For sure.
So, again, going out in the GSSC, they got to be winning. All right, last year, they got to want to make a statement.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to stay the course. I mean, our goals, our objectives haven't changed. It's just a different year. We understand navigating through the conference that we've got probably a pretty massive target on our back because of some of the damage that we inflicted on our conference opponents last year, and we're excited for the fact to get up and do it again. I know our kids are, our coaches are, and last year in the conference going for the three-peat, and we're excited.
Well, and that target on your back, for good reason. Last year, 44.3 points per game, and you look at everything you got coming back this year, that number is attainable again or even able to surpass that.
I mean, obviously the objective is to win every game by at least 1 point.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll take it however we can get it. We kind of have some program sayings that we'll keep within the house in regards to our approach when we start games. But we're a full court press. We sprint, and we're trying to score as many points as possible, and that's just kind of how we do it.
Yeah, Coach, you're the point differential at which you guys won last year surpassed 30 points per game per contest. And, you kind of alluded to already, for people who are unfamiliar with the Hanover program, that it's a very relentless team. And, attitude reflects leadership. But then also one thing I've noticed today that I learned was speaking with the players, because we're doing player segments over there, when students were asked or athletes were asked what was their favorite stadium to play in aside from their own, Hanover Central was mentioned because of the atmosphere on a game day. Can you speak to the community and how they've gotten behind this team?
Well, just a little background information. We're actually going into our 9th season for football. There was a 30-plus year break there where we didn't have football. So we're going into the 9th season since football has come back to Hanover Central and the Cedar Lake and St. John communities. Our field turf, we played in a couple melt bowls last year. We've got artificial playing surface that'll be finished on Thursday. They've built a brand new outdoor locker room facility for us as well. So there's a lot of juice right now behind our program. I think it's about just trying to have as much fun as possible. I think we've recruited the hallways. We've gotten some kids who play some other sports to come out and play football because I think, like I said, first and foremost, the players, the coaches, we have fun playing it. I think we play an exciting brand of football as well, and that's important. And, if you lose that entity of not having fun playing the game, then it comes across. But we try to keep that element of fun in there, and people love coming to our stadium. It's a little unique. We only have one side we only have visiting bleachers. A lot of the visiting coaches love playing in our stadium because they don't have to hear all the parents complaining behind them.
Exactly.
So that's what a few coaches have told me before. So no, it's great. Our administration's great. I mean, the school community is great, and it's a pretty hot vibe going on right now.
Well, one of the things you mentioned earlier, that fast break, relentless style, even going to be faster on field turf. How excited are the guys that they get to play on that faster surface now?
Well, they're real excited. I mean, I told them they can't go past the gate that surrounds the stadium because we don't want them walking and disturbing the guys who are working on the field right now. And just the other day, I walk over there, there's like 30 guys just standing on the fence, just watching guys just lay turf on the ground in 90-degree weather. And I'm like, all right, let's go, guys. But I mean, they're chomping at the bit, get on there. It's cool. It's cool, and kids and parents and the community, they like nice things, and our community and our school and people we're starting to get some of those nice things.
Yeah, and that just shows the investment that the school and the administration has made into your program. Talk about some of you guys you got coming back. Matt Kuntz at quarterback, 1,900 passing yards, 24 passing touchdowns, 14 rushing touchdowns. Kyle Hazley, 1,400 rushing yards, 24 touchdowns. What can these guys realistically do as an encore?
I mean, the thing about those guys, and we even talked about Gannon and Ryan and those guys as well, is that they're tremendously hard workers. I mean, this isn't just something to where we just roll the ball out on the field and score as many points as possible. I mean, it's these kids, particularly. I mean, Matt started as a freshman. He played cornerback for us his freshman year. Kyle, Gannon, and Ryan, they all started as freshmen as well. So these guys have played a tremendous amount of varsity snaps on Friday nights for us, and there's a lot of hard work that's gone into the production. So I don't, the numbers are great. We tell the kids, individual success comes with team success. If the team's good, then the individuals, you'll get those accolades as a byproduct of that. So it's, this is just really just an effect of a lot of hard work that these kids, and a lot of these kids have been playing football together for a long time.
Coach, you mentioned how hard-working a lot of these key players have been for you in your program. Can you speak a little bit on the coaching staff and how hard you guys have all worked, and perhaps what are some things that are being said in terms of conversations that you need to have to go out and play even better next year. And, I mean, you played a Mishawaka Marion team in the regional, and it's one of those things where, Coach, like, how do you guys, to a certain extent, not necessarily reinvent yourself, but reinforce a lot of the things that you plan on doing this season as a coaching staff?
Well, the number one thing we wanted to convey to the players and the staff as well is that 2021 is in our rearview mirror. I mean, we don't want to be the same team. I mean, obviously, we want to do bigger and better things than last year. And obviously, last year was a historically special season at Hanover Central High School. But it's you keep in regards to the staff. My defensive coordinator, strength and conditioning guy, AJ Grzanko is, and I tell this to everybody, he's the best thing that I've done ever since I got hired here. Defense to Craig Dovich is linebackers. Josh Titus is going into my fourth year with me. Roger Henson, our defensive line coach, has been around. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you got Tony Bartolomeo, who's coached a lot of football in this area. Bob Camara, he's a Regional 1 legend around here. He's been a head coach and coached a state championship in Andran in the early 2000s. And then we got another guy, Jim Boyer, who's new from Illinois, who's a young, energetic wide receivers coach as well. So, I mean, the staff from top to bottom, there's been a commitment. In my first year, when I first got to Hanover Central, there were no football coaches that were teachers in the building. And now we've got 3 now, and we've got other teachers that teach at other schools. So there's a lot more community and school involvement and buy-in. And it gives a little bit more of a personal touch to when you're coaching these kids instead of just coming to collect a stipend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you see them all day during the day.
All right.
We talked about the guys who had big years last year, but who are some of the guys who are going to play big roles for you this year that are maybe new to the varsity depth chart? I know you have a lot coming back, so there's only a few names there.
Right. No, I mean, our junior varsity team was undefeated last year. Really the person who led the way with that is our to-be sophomore running back, Caden Verrett. He is, I think if you were to ask those kids about Caden, I mean, not a lot of people know about Caden, but people are going to find out about him real quick here. He is an explosive and strong athlete, and we got to find a bunch of different ways to get him involved in touching the ball. On the defensive side, we've got, Rocco Bartolomeo, Tony's son. Tony Jr. Was a starter for us, a receiver last year. And, Jaden Howard, who was a junior, he played a lot, broke his hand week 1. We didn't get him back to week 8. And, Jaden's a really, really good player. He's one of our captains, and he hasn't even scratched the surface in regards to the impact that he can have for us. So, I mean, we've got a lot of guys coming back, but we have a lot of young players who are excited to contribute on Friday nights for us.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Awesome.
Mrs. Parker, happy birthday. Thanks for letting us take him away for the evening. So he'll make it up to you. Don't worry.
Thanks, Nathan.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks again, Brian Parker of Hanover Central, our guest here. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more after this here from the RSN Preseason Pigskin Party here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party, live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in beautiful historic downtown Griffith at 135 North Broad Street. Join with me on the far left, Mike Zajac, and the man in the hot seat, Coach Bill Marshall from Valparaiso. Coach, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having us, yeah.
Mike Jamia.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Mike.
So check this out, folks. We have 3 mics working today, and we're going back different tables. We got Bradner, Zajac, and Jamia. So as long as you didn't call me Bradner, you were close.
Mistake.
Yeah, so it's all good, yeah.
Hey, guess what? That's my first mistake in the last 5 minutes.
Last 5 years, I would even argue.
Oh, that's a great way to start it off. Coach, let's just dive right into it. So what's your takeaway from last season coming into the 2022 season?
You know, the big thing for us is it wasn't the ending that we had become accustomed to. It was a hard-fought game, but, you know, obviously I think we left some points out there on the field against Michigan City, who had a great team and obviously a great staff. And I think, you know, with that, our captains adopted a great motto for this year, which is against all odds.
Oh, there
you know, so
like it.
Each and every year we graduate just great kids from great communities, and you know, we're lucky and fortunate enough to be able to go ahead and bring in another great senior class this year as well. So it's that old mantra of never rebuilding, just kind of reloading for
I like
us.
it. I like it.
You know, against all odds, you know, we've had a lot of adversity, whether it was the 2020 season with COVID and missing 3 games, you know, 2021 having, you know, a loss in the regional game that we didn't necessarily do our best or play our best. And so just not really having a lot of returning starters either. You know, as I'm sure you'll ask, you know, who are our returning starters? And truthfully, in every single game that we played last year, we have 1 returning starter in Zach Brown, one of our defensive tackles. We have a couple of other players. I know 2 of our captains, Pete Crossan and Jonah Kyle, who played quite a bit. But, you know, subbed in with some of our seniors who have now left through graduation.
Well, you know, so taking some of my questions out of order, Coach, but that's okay. So you talk about these captains.
Yes.
Okay. Are these the guys that these kids are rallying around? And, you know, along with that, what are the numbers like?
So right now our number's 9 to 12. We're at 178 kids playing football. Wow. Yeah, it's quite remarkable. I think back 4 years ago, actually 5 now, 2017, when I took over in the interim role, I believe we ended up with only 82 kids on our varsity and JV roster. And so the last couple of years we've had classes of 50 and 50 and 50 and just kind of building those numbers back up. So, you know, Valpo football's back in a great place in terms of numbers. And you mentioned our leaders. These are 2 just impeccable leaders. Everything you want, the complete packages. Being able to be verbal, but also leading by example. So, again, just following another great tradition of senior leaders that we've had.
And, Coach, you talk about reloading, and, you know, you can't reload if you don't have the ammunition. And I think Valpo's got everyone beat on ammunition when it comes to over 170 kids in the program, or athletes 9 to 12. But as a coaching staff, how do you manage that many, and not only, like, you know, in the current time, but also, like, this idea where you're only bringing back 1 starter, and so you have all these bodies. How is it that you guys have, you know, been able to optimize your time and energy in trying to identify who is going to maybe make a difference in this upcoming season?
Yeah, you know, first, just kudos to the kids, their parents, you know, the amount of time that we spend with them, the amount of time we ask them to spend away from their families, and likewise with our coaching staff as well. We want what is best for our kids. At the same time, we also want to win. We want to put a great product on the field in regards to our athletes. But more importantly, when they walk away, just to be great fathers, great citizens moving forward. But, going back to your question, truthfully, how do you manage it? And we were doing the math the other day, and we have over 75% of our staff either played, graduated, and has now kind of come back. And so we have a lot of alumni that want to come back and coach
name the guys.
for us.
Let's
right off the
sing
bat.
these heroes.
So a 32-year veteran in our defensive coordinator, Sam Bernardi. Again, on the defensive side, we have Brad Cross, and he's not an alumni, but he has 3 sons that have played for us. So I would say that's pretty much an alumni as well.
Yes, it
having
is.
sat through that many games. Offensive staff, we bring back Sam Bernardi Jr., who's a first-year coach for us this year, played for us in 2017. Luke Patterson is a wide receiver coach for us as well. We have Don Clark, who played for us, went on and played at Air Force, is back coaching for us. Defensive side, we have Todd Evans, who was a running back and linebacker for us, who's now back coaching with us. And the list kind of goes on and on. Our freshman staff, Michael Smiley, our head freshman coach, Jamie Leffridge, Paul Shara, Alec Judy, are all alumni and players for us that have now come back. And, they can bring with that what Valpo tradition is and how important it is to them as well. And it's great as well. We have the extension that we have a lot of alumni just come back to practice during the summertime. They want to be around us, come up, help us out in any way, shape, or form
awesome.
that they can too.
That talks about the character of the program. Leaning on that, let's talk about who are the starters you're going to be leaning on, number-wise, like quarterbacks, wide receivers. Who are the guys that you're going to be really, focused on and trying to get out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mentioned one already in Zach Brown.
Right.
He had a tremendous year for us as a junior last year, and he's doing terrific things for our defensive line right now. Tyler Young is another senior defensive lineman for us who's been doing some great things at defensive end. The 2 captains, as we mentioned, right behind me right now, and Pete Crossan and Jonah Kyle, really setting the edge for us. One of them plays our Noah linebacker, and the other one plays our Viking. So really just in tandem, being able to pin everything inside. We have some great depth at inside linebacker now, led by Alex Rodriguez, a senior linebacker. And we are, I say this, but we're very, very talented in the defensive secondary right now with players like T.J. Watkins and Sammy Ampliotis, Tyler Versure, and a whole host of other ones. Chase Schroeder would be another senior for us, too. Definitely one of the most talented defensive secondaries that we've had in the past 5 years. So that's, the exciting part on defense. Offensively, then I was just telling Coach Good from Lake Central, we're extremely excited. Not that we haven't been with our other offensive lines, but our other offensive lines have been pretty senior heavy.
Right.
And this year we're going to have 2 sophomores, we're going to have a junior, and we're going to have 2 seniors.
Wow.
And our smallest kid right now on offensive line is 6 foot 250, and our biggest kid is 6'6", 275 right now. So looking to be able to run the football.
You got to like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Time consuming.
That and having a senior, a junior, and a sophomore currently at running back in the depth chart. And all of them 6 foot, 200 pounds or more, running the T for us. And then, having a lot of great sure-handed kids on the outside, and the combination of Scotty Bradney and Rocco Machichi playing the slot receiver, and really the unsung hero of our offense. And it gives us the ability to put another offensive lineman on the field, but at the same time somebody who has the athleticism to go down the field and catch.
Right.
So we got a lot of great tight ends. Connor McCall will be our senior tight end this year, but also assisted by Daryl Davis and some of our others. So just very excited. And the big thing is everybody says, well, who's your starting quarterback? Who is your starting?
Right.
Why did he wait till last? And we have 2 great young men, one in Ian Wilson right now, who's a senior, and one in Justin Clark. And because of how good they are, we have been unable to separate it. I mean, it's a great problem to have.
Yes, it is.
We have efficiency right now of 62.8% QB efficiency and 60%. So I didn't feel comfortable after 1 week in August sitting there saying, well, you get it because you had 2.8%.
Yeah.
I think that competitive edge leads to them bringing it and
Yes.
amplifying their game even more.
And so that being said, and it's not just at the quarterback position where we're seeing this, like there's a big battle there, right? I mean, because you got to think about it. You're only returning one true starter, so almost every position is a position battle.
Correct.
And that being said, you talk about your secondary is very talented and outstanding, and something we look forward to seeing this year.
Mm-hmm.
As a coaching staff, how does that change expectations, change scheme, change things that you want to do based on what you're learning from these guys in real time, because every single position is being fought for?
Yeah, and it's a blessing being able to get with them in April and May. When we didn't used to have that availability, IHSCA wouldn't allow it. But now being able to get them on the field and just the how dedicated our kids are. I mean, we had over 100 kids at every spring practice.
That's crazy.
And again, it goes back to just the quality and the character of the kids that we have. But at the same time, being able to refine some of those things before you even put pads on throughout June and July. And with the athleticism that we do have, gives us, as Mike was alluding to, just the flexibility to do some interesting things, both offensively and defensively, and flirt with some things maybe we haven't done in the past because we were so run heavy or whatever the case may be.
Well, Coach, we're running out of time. We appreciate it. Bill Marshall right here to my side. Good luck to you this upcoming fall, Coach.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
And you are watching Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party live from Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in Griffith. That's beautiful and historic Griffith. 135 North Broad Street. We are joined with Mike Jamia. I got it right this time. And the man in the middle, Coach Brad Cease from Merrillville. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's dive right into it. Nice season last year, 12-1. What's your takeaway from that season, bringing it on over into 2022?
Yeah, when you look at not only last season, but I guess the previous few of them, we've been fortunate to have some pretty solid groups with some good talent and gotten beat in the semi-state the last 3 years. So as much as you feel good about a lot of the things that you accomplished. You almost feel like you had a losing season when you lose that late and all that. So it's what could have you done different? How could you have prepared yourself? So kind of the same takeaway. I mean, you're always wanting to find a way to get better, and we've done that once again as a staff and as a football program.
Talking about your program, what are the numbers like? And I'm sure success breeds more coming out, right?
You know what? Believe it or not, we're
stable,
about the same. Maybe the senior class has actually always been kind of a smaller one for us.
Uh-huh.
Our freshman numbers are massive. They're better than they've ever been. Sophomore class has got a good number. Juniors and seniors, about where they should be. The senior class is about 8 guys smaller than what we had last year. So we've been consistent, with the numbers and all that. I mean, nowadays you just got to make sure that you keep your schedule at the right place to where if a kid wants to play basketball, you're not making him pull between either the two sports and things of that nature. So just trying to make sure that you work with the other teachers and coaches in the building and all that to give yourself the best chance to get everybody to come out and play.
Yeah, you got to share the athletes, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned kind of and allude to how accommodating you are with your student athletes in terms of other sports they want to play. Have you seen any real positives from multi-sport athletes playing football? Perhaps guys that wrestle and then play football and kind of seeing that.
Yeah, we for us the two big sports that we really kind of feed off each other are track and then also wrestling. So. It's one of those things where you got to have a good relationship with the coaches of those sports. We're lucky too that some of our assistants also are assistants for those sports as well.
Nice.
So you kind of have some common people that see those kids not only during our season but then when they're in wrestling or track or anything like that. And I was a 3-sport athlete in high school. My dad, growing up in Warsaw, was the head track and cross-country coach at Warsaw. So, I kind of understood something other than just football as far as being important and things like that, too.
Yeah, and Coach, you kind of talk about the commonalities that your coaching staff has with other sports as their assistants for other sports such as wrestling, track, etc. Beyond that, how has the coaching staff been this offseason? How have you guys came together? You have Justin Marshall returning, who's an absolute game breaker. Jay and I did a game against Crown Point when he scored a touchdown. I think he scored how many offense touchdowns, special teams touchdowns?
Right.
And
how do you guys have come together this offseason with your pretty large sophomore class and have figured out okay, what are some things that we're doing to try to maybe perhaps get these guys the ball more and try to improve upon these players' abilities?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, coaching staff wise, we had to make a couple. We had to make up for a couple losses. We actually lost our offensive line coach, Joe Atria, who had been with our program since the early 80s. He decided to he's still teaching, but he's not going to coach this year. Some family obligations out in Colorado. He's got a son that played for us that wrestles out at Colorado School in the Mines. His mom lives out there, so he was. It was just a good time for him to move on and that's a big loss. I mean,
yeah,
he's been a mainstay of our program. So we were fortunate to find a younger guy that played collegiately and is going to fit in with Denny Hamilton, our other offensive line coach, has been here a long time. But in regards to Justin, obviously there's a lot of different ways that that he can impact the game. Whether that's catching the ball, running the ball in the special teams. So, our big focus is, hey, how do we move him around? What's the best way to get him the ball in space? He's really hard to tackle. But naturally, as a guy that you want to get the ball, playing him at running back is a smart thing as well, because the quarterback just hands it to him. You don't got to worry about an incomplete pass or a bad read or whatever. So we're gonna do a lot with him, and have real high expectations for him to have a big year for us.
Any other guys that you're going to be leaning on heavy besides Justin Marshall?
Yeah, when you look at us offensively, Jalen Thomas will come in and be our quarterback. He split some time early in the year last year. Got some pretty good, meaningful varsity reps. He's 6'4", 170 pounds, got a real strong arm. We feel really good about him leading our offense. We return, 3 guys that started on the offensive line,
that's nice.
At one point in time. Still kind of figuring out where to put everybody and all that is big. We feel good, how at our depth at running back, we've got, 3 or 4 guys that we feel really good. If you give them the ball, that they're gonna do good things. So offensively, we expect to still be able to have some explosiveness. Defensively, you look at what we have coming back. We have to replace our entire defensive line. Lost some really good players, headlined by Kenneth Grant. But feel really good about those guys stepping up and it being their turn. Going to be mostly a junior-laden defensive line group that's got some kids that have some pretty good talent. Our most experience comes back in the defensive backfield and linebacker. We feel pretty good about where we're at that position or those positions, maybe compared to where we were this time last year. So some spots you're like, what's who's going to replace some marquee guys, and then there's other places where you feel good about what you have coming back.
Coach, so you talk about, your returning players and, all that stuff, and having to replace essentially your whole defensive line, and you said it's going to be very junior laden this year. Talk and speak to the idea of which players have stood out to you amongst that group of juniors and perhaps even seniors that may not start on the defensive line but just have stood out to you in terms of leadership and, getting that unit ready for the season. Because, like you mentioned, Coach, it's the whole new unit essentially at the starting front on that defensive line. And if you know it, everyone else knows it too. So it's like, how have your players been in terms of trying to, create that unit amongst themselves in addition to the coaches?
Yeah, our defensive line coach Brian West does a great job along with the rest of our defensive staff. And when you look at the history of especially Merrillville football over the last few years, we've always had really explosive defensive linemen. So for us, a couple of those guys that we lost last year, they were 1-year senior starters that waited their turn. And kind of the same with this year's group. Roshawn McGee is going to be a junior that was a rotational guy for us last year that played. He was an exclusively a varsity football player, even though he wasn't a starter. But he literally, played about half the snaps. We expect a lot from him. He's kind of the leader in that group. Adam Campford is going to be a sophomore that's 295 pounds, strong as an ox. Just a really good. Motor, high-end player. Terrell Elmore will be an edge guy that has a lot of potential as well. So, we feel good about those guys stepping up, and it's their time. It's their time to contribute and be a part of our defense.
Hey, Coach, any parting thoughts before we let you get out of here?
No, we're just we're excited about the season starting. We've got a nice schedule. Get to play Andrean at home. It's always exciting. We get to play them. In the Battle of Broadway.
Well, I look at that schedule. There's no weeks off in the Duland Conference, and put a nice couple toughies right at the front.
Yeah,
definitely. Andrean obviously coming off a 2A state championship. They were beating us at halftime last year, and then we kind of woke up a little bit. And then from what I've heard, everybody said Hobart has looked pretty solid all summer, and pretty high expectations there. And then, in our conference, you got to come to play every week because there's a lot of really well coached teams, and it's you got to show up. You can't just expect to be there and plays are going to be made. You got to make sure that you're prepared and ready to go each week.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, Coach. We're sitting here with Brad Cease, man in the middle here. Yep. Mike Zamia over there to my far left. We're going to be right back after this break. You're watching Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We'll be back after this timeout on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Welcome back to Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party live at Set 'em Up Lanes and Lounge in Griffith. That is historic and beautiful downtown Griffith, 135 North. We are joined with Mike Zamia over there to the far left and the man sitting in the middle, two-way state championship coach, head coach, Chris Skinner. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys doing this again. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah, we have a blast doing it. I don't know how you get this, but you're the last coach for the interviews, and you won a state championship. You should be going first, right? You should have your pick.
Probably because we had a late practice today, and then it rained after that. So.
Hey, you were mentioning something about your shoes, right?
Yeah, I got soaked in practice, so I'm not wearing any socks right now. This is my spare shoes from the trunk, so yeah, I was hoping nobody noticed.
Look at that. When you're a champion, you have a busy schedule, and a lot of it is about hard work, I'm sure.
Yeah, now you guys called me out.
Well, tell us your takeaway from last season to this season. It's got to be nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every season is different, right? So
right.
Before we went live, you asked like what we learned. I feel like every season you're going to learn things, especially, me, this is only my 7th year, right? So
yes.
Everything is still a learning experience. I don't know. We haven't really talked much about last year, to be honest with you.
That's good. That's
good. Once weights rolled around in January, the senior group last year, they weren't allowed to work out with us. Like, see you
gone.
later. We just kind of turn the page.
Yeah,
and,
that's the way to do it.
I don't know. No, we don't really talk about it. Obviously, there'll be times down the road to think back on it. But,
yes.
Really, we're just kind of focused on trying to get better every day.
So what's the program like number-wise? I mean, how is it, freshmen through varsity?
Yeah, so we, when you probably ask some of the bigger schools, they include probably sophomores through seniors. So if you ask me that, I'm going to include freshmen because we don't have a freshman team. But we have 75. Okay. So this is actually the largest number that I've had in my time. So we got a large senior group and a large freshman group. 75 total, so it's good.
That's good. That's the way to build the program up, that big freshman group, right?
Yeah. Hopefully they all stay with it, obviously.
Right.
It's good to see that many coming out right away.
So, Coach, you kind of mentioned bookends, right? Freshman, senior, those are your two big classes. With your senior group, has there been anybody that has really stood out to you from a growth standpoint in terms of growth into becoming a leader? Because you're going to, I would imagine so, need more senior leadership with a larger freshman class.
Yeah, I think a lot of these seniors have felt more comfortable being vocal leaders. Not that they weren't last year, but sometimes there's kind of a pecking order, right? And some of those seniors weren't starters last year on the varsity team. So now it's every year I meet with the seniors in the off season, and it's like, okay, what direction do we want to go with the team? Like what do we want our motto to be? How do we want to approach really a lot of different things? The weight room, and that's a discussion that I have with them, because really they have to take ownership for it. It's their team. I mean, we'll be behind the scenes kind of moving the parts around and coaching up, but like they're the ones that control the personality of the team. They're the ones that dictate kind of the work ethic. And so that's a conversation I have with them every offseason. So I think from, that first offseason meeting with them through now, like more guys have felt comfortable kind of taking on that role. And leadership, it's part of that's the learning process anyway. So it's difficult to kind of single out one or two. I think as a whole, they've done a good job of taking ownership so far. But now the hard part begins,
yes,
right? It's the grind of the season. So now they'll really be tested when school starts and you're into the grind of it. So
tell us, who are your key returning guys for numbers-wise, with quarterback and other running backs and defensive people?
Yeah, so we have our leading passer returning, Scott Ballantyne, leading rusher, Drake Bowen, one of our leading receivers, Patrick Clax. We have 3 linemen, offensive linemen returning.
You got to like that.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have all 5 back, right?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, better than 2 or 1, I suppose. We lost our entire defensive line, so we've kind of done some rebuilding there. 3 linebackers back, which is nice, and then 2 in the secondary. So, we kind of graduated half of the starters, but, we rotate a lot of players.
Right.
If you're good enough to play, and you physically can play, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a senior. We're going to find a way to get on the field. So there's a lot of guys who have had experience, maybe not being labeled a quote-unquote starter, though. Yeah.
Anybody surprised you coming out of camp that you didn't think was going to be that good, or maybe not be at the level of a starter, but maybe as a backup, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, this might make an impact on us? Yeah,
we're still kind of feeling out, to be honest with you. So we had our intra-squad scrimmage on Saturday. And so that was good to see some live tackling. But, you're still going up against guys that you practice against every day.
Right.
So Friday's going to be actually a pretty big evaluation period for a lot of our guys, against live competition, in a full-go setting, at another opposing stadium. So see who can handle and rise to the occasion.
Who do you guys have this Friday?
Lake Central.
Lake Central.
Yep.
So, Coach, you mentioned that, you're still kind of feeling it out with guys, and that actually kind of works out for you in the sense that you're a team that already does so many rotations with guys. And although you're graduating, half or whatever of your starters, how does that work in terms of your coaching staff and being able to identify, what are some guys that we really want to see in these certain positions this year? And how has that been with the coaching staff coming off of such a successful season? Is it one of those things where you're kind of just reinforcing the culture from previous, or is, there are a couple new wrinkles with maybe some new faces within the program, et cetera?
Yeah, so I guess to address that more broadly, we're a pretty close coaching staff. a lot of us went to school together, or kind of around the same era, and those that didn't or weren't have become close friends. It's a 7-day-a-week job.
Yes,
and
it
so, is. So, we spend a lot of time together, and it'd be difficult to do that job if you didn't enjoy the people you were around. So we've kind of tweaked things here and there, but basically our philosophy is every year, like come summer, like we're going to give everybody an opportunity.
Right.
We're going to see who can play. The things that are going to attract us right away are like who's got the motor, who doesn't stop, and then from there, okay, well, are they coachable? Are they taking the coaching and they're improving? So it's kind of a gradual thing, but we've gotten a lot of reps to a wide array of players throughout the summer.
That's awesome.
And so, now we're going to start tightening it down more and more and more to see who can play on a Friday night. And, when those lights are on Friday, like, there's no margin for error, right? So those little mistakes maybe that are happening here and there, no more for that. So that's why the scrimmage Friday will be important evaluation period.
Yeah, I'm just looking at your schedule as you were talking, and I see no weeks off.
No,
not the first 2 weeks. Oh wow, Merrillville, Crown Points, and Doolin schools. You like to get those in?
I love playing good competition.
Yes.
I think we've always kind of subscribed to the iron sharpens iron approach. And so playing, Lake Central for the scrimmage, Merrillville, Crown Point, and then we got 6A Crete Monee out of Illinois week 3. You're going to be exposed right away to any weaknesses.
Right.
And so, I view that as good because now we can adjust. It's better we adjust in week 3 and week 4 as compared to week 10 and 11. So, that's the benefit of that. And you get to play, those are highly competitive games.
Yes, they are. Very competitive. Any final thoughts from you?
No, Coach, I would just finish with this. You won a state title. What's the goal this year?
We talk about every year the number one goal is win conference.
Right.
We take a lot of pride in the competitive nature of our conference. A lot of great coaches, and we just added another great one in Kirk Kennedy at KB. So conference is going to be as competitive as it's been in my time, and so we want to win that first, and then when that's done, then we can move on to the playoffs and hopefully play till it's cold.
Until Thanksgiving, right?
That's the hope. But that's a long ways away. Long ways away.
Well, Coach, I appreciate your time. We're sitting here with Coach Chris Skinner in the middle, Mike Zajac, Zamia over there, and I'm Jay Simmons. Is this our last interview, by the way? All right, so we're going to be closing it out here. You're watching the Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. We will not be back after this. You are watching Region Sports Network, the only game in town. We thank you. We thank Nathan Laird and the rest of the Region Sports staff, Chris Ramirez, our executive producer, and everybody else that's been here. We've got the whole gang here. We appreciate everybody being here. Thanks again for watching. And this was Region Sports Network Preseason Pigskin Party. Region Sports Network, the only game in town.